Hello, and thank you so much for joining us for your Smackdown review for February 2nd, the first Smackdown of February. And boy, we had quite the ending to it that is being received in a mixed at best way right now by a lot of people. But get in those super chats and get in those humper chats. We've got Sean here to talk all about it. But before that, we're going to ask you to please leave a thumbs up on this video. It helps people find us in the algorithm. We're also going to remind you to subscribe to Fightful Select, where we've got so much happening, so much contract news happening. And in addition to that, we also have the free tier for all of the Vince McMahon related story stuff. Sean does his best not to paywall that outside of maybe some supplemental details because it feels icky to do that with stories like this. But I don't need to speak for Sean. Sean can speak for Sean. He's here himself to talk about the blockbuster match being made. Man, this feels like a tricky one now. Of course, at the end of the show, we had Cody come out to talk to Roman. I'll give just a quick recap for people who weren't aware, but Roman calls Seth's title the loser title, kind of says that Cody can be the very best number 2 or take a crack at number 1 again because that secondary title was made by and challenged for by a bunch of people that lost to Roman, which I thought was a pretty good point. Cody says, what is really finishing the story? Is it taking this title from you or is it taking everything from you? Mentions he's consulted a lot of people throughout the course of the past week in making his decision. And one of those people is coming out right now. Here enters The Rock. I hope he didn't say anything because my broadcast cut out 3 minutes early. So
he didn't say anything. No.
I assumed it was just a really intense Dwayne stare down, but looks like we're getting Rock versus Roman. Cody also saying that he would be challenging Roman at a different time, not at WrestleMania. So that was the end of our show. And Sean, my timeline was very, very mixed on this. A lot of people feel like this is a waste of what Cody's been working for the last year. There were some people that were just excited to see it finally happen. We're finally getting Rock versus Roman. It's been hinted at for literally years. But to your point, more people were saying, what are we doing with Cody, Rhodes, and this entire trajectory over the course of the past year? Any initial thoughts, any rumblings that you're hearing off the bat?
Yeah, I mean, people in WWE are befuddled. I guess from what I've heard, they've known about it throughout the week. Now, that being said, I don't know what the plan would have been had CM Punk not got hurt, because that was a very pointed direction there. I'm going to work to find out. Obviously, we'll have something on FightfulSelect.com, but in so many different ways, this doesn't make sense. With Roman Reigns having the title, it makes this match a foregone conclusion. It makes it very evident. And the thing is, it's either a foregone conclusion, or 2, a horrible decision to have a guy in his mid-50s be the one to beat Roman Reigns. I guess I'm just kind of surprised because I figured this was more of the fan service era. Now, I get it. This is a huge match, objectively, an enormous match that will capture a lot of mainstream interest. I got a lot of people saying, no, it's now or never, though. Not really. Yuji Nagata is 4 years older than The Rock, and guess what he's doing this week? He wrestled Bryan Danielson last weekend, and he's wrestling on MLW this week. The Rock has infinite resources. He could make it work next year. I don't know. I'm baffled that they made this decision. Elite Biscuit says, was Punk never the main event of Mania? That this poses an awful lot of questions. By the way, get your super chats, get your humper chats in while I'm here at youtube.com/Fightful and humperchats.com. Small Snippets of Life says, ha, 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 this idiotic company. I really thought we were past that, to be honest with you. Wow, to be honest, just killed a lot of my interest for WrestleMania. I'm so disappointed. It was to the point I fly out the day of a lot of pay-per-views. That way I can get home, cover it, do the post shows. After Cody won that Royal Rumble, I was like, you know what? Maybe I extend my travel a couple days. It don't look like it. It don't look like it right now. Cody, Seth, night 1, Rock, Roman, night 2, Rhea and Becky screwed again. Well, I mean, it seemed like whatever that was going to be wasn't probably going to main event night 1 anyway at this point. But yeah, 2 months ago, it certainly looked like it. But my fear when I had a conversation with somebody this week was, I had a concern that WWE might erode some trust with their audience. Now, there's going to be a big part of the audience that is very excited about this, that feels that it's the right decision. It's going to be a very polarizing decision. I'm really interested to see what our audience thinks of it. Jimmy says, I wouldn't be surprised if all this time was dedicated recently to get press to distract from the Vince investigation. Yeah, I mean, that's something I'd be willing to sit there and say, yeah, it's a real possibility. Alexis, we haven't heard from you. What were your thoughts when this went down?
My first, obviously, I pop because yay, 13-year-old me is happy to see Rock anytime he sees him. But I've said this before. I said this in a couple shows in the past with Alex, and I mentioned how I want to see a continuation of new stars being slotted into different locations. And I think WWE always, this sounds weird, WWE itself all the time by always inserting the old guard into these larger than life feuds and things. So kind of sucks, man. I was not expecting that to go down today. I was maybe expecting maybe a little rivalry later on, but here we are. Sean, you know more than I do, so
as I'm looking at things right now, because I believe Roman Reigns was either on his part-time schedule last year or headed for it, right? The last year that WWE didn't have a part-timer or somebody exiting the company main event at least one night of WrestleMania was 2011 by the looks of it. And The Rock was involved in that as well. The year before that was Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, streak versus career. Obviously, Shawn Michaels was finishing up there. Like
Sean,
no, I understand WrestleMania.
First WrestleMania I ever watched was
God.
versus Taker. I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have a rest of your thought?
I definitely wanted to attack some of these super chats because there's a lot of them.
Kay had just graduated from high school.
That's very kind of you and untrue, but I'll get a quick question just because I don't see it showing up in the chat. Is there a possibility that this turns into a triple threat? They already have a sold out crowd. They could play with creative here. The Rock being in this, you can kind of protect his in-ring.
Makes even less sense to me. So this whole thing
too, but The Rock or Roman's protected and Cody wins, and The Rock, you can cover up kind of what's not working in the ring.
Yeah,
so
sorry, I'm going to rant an awful lot. I'll be here. I'll be here a little while at the start of the show, and this is what I'm talking about. Here's some other stuff. Braun Breaker's getting called up. Tiffany Stratton got called up. Fightful Select correctly reported that Naomi was going to be on SmackDown. Cool, man. Owens and Austin Theory had a very good match. Austin Theory hit a spinning rack bomb like it was nothing. It was very impressive. The Testament are now the final Testament, and now B-Fab is with them. Elektra Lopez, shocker to a lot of people, her dad wrestled 500 matches for WWE, in case you didn't know. He actually wrestled superstar Billy Graham for the WWF title way back in the day. So I love that, and Legato. There's my thoughts on everything else. Bayley challenges Io. That rules. That was cool. So anyway, this Cody shit. This is so dumb. This is so listen, I compared it to Hogan Brett immediately at the end of WrestleMania. There's the difference. Hogan, despite being an incredible piece of shit, was still an active performer to some degree. The Rock, listen, you're not going to hear me come in here and say The Rock doesn't deserve this, doesn't deserve that. He's one of the biggest celebrities on the planet. Of course, there's a title match or a main event match for The Rock. Very, very clearly, it's just nowhere near the same. It's just, we saw him a couple weeks ago sucking wind after hitting a spine buster on Jinder Mahal. We got Cody coming out here, and I got to say, Seth Rollins kicked ass at explaining why Cody should do that. But Cody's reasoning in kayfabe is finishing the story, taking that from you, or taking everything from you. Pardon my French. What the fuck does The Rock got to do with that? Why can't Cody take that title at WrestleMania and then say, enjoy your flight over to France for Backlash, Rock? Go take everything from him then. Why does Cody Why does Cody, by the way, Pharaoh didn't do his job and bite The Rock backstage. Cody didn't Nancy Kerrigan The Rock backstage. None of my advice was taken. Maybe none of this stuff would have happened if they would have listened to me. But anyway, it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm hoping some sense is made of it. And listen, it should be Cody Rhodes pinning Roman Reigns clean as a sheet, night 2 of WrestleMania. Then you do whatever the hell you want. Rock and Roman has never needed the title. And it's never needed the title, not because the title isn't important, but because The Rock, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, all the supporting actors, the writing team, the creative team, WWE production have done such a great job of making head of the table, tribal chief, provider of the family. What family? The one with Samu, Fatu, Rosie, Jamal Umaga, Yokozuna, Haichi, Peter Maivia, Rocky Johnson, more people that I can name. Gary fucking Albright, even. The provider of that family is something so important that it was on par with the WWE Championship. And The Rock rolling in after all this and saying, you've never been the provider. You've never been the tribal chief. You've never been the head of the table. It's been me since about 1997, 1998. It was definitely me when I went to Hollywood and supplemented the entire family. It was definitely me when I gave you that bit part in my movie, little bro. All that stuff. That is a perfect way to tell this story. Now we're presumably heading into WrestleMania with a world championship that is a foregone conclusion. It's always going to be a foregone conclusion, but it doesn't need that. It didn't need that. It's never needed that. Holy shit, we have a lot of super chats.
Yeah, let's get to
But I'm going to be here a while.
Yeah, I'll start steering those. The other piece of this is Cody doesn't have any investment in the bloodline. Like, he's not a part of the bloodline. He's never infiltrated the bloodline. Like, it should be about the title. Why is it about taking everything from Roman? It ain't that personal. But
he's passing on his family's legacy just to I don't know.
It makes no sense.
For what? Like, what? Take everything from him. At the cost of what?
Take it all away.
I just don't understand how letting The Rock jump him in line does that. Now, I hope that's something that can be explained down the line. It just doesn't make any sense.
Sure, and it's really a consequence of last year's booking to this year's booking, which is brutal. But Bill saying the video of Cody bringing his dog to the arena makes perfect sense now. Cody got the news and needed that dog for emotional support.
Oh my God.
I needed mine for emotional support. I can't believe Cody wouldn't need Pharaoh there. But Eddie saying, when is Cody facing Roman? I'm super pissed off. Paid tickets yesterday to go to Mania, and now I got to watch Roman beat The Rock. Poor Cody. Yeah.
I don't know. When are the next Olympics? Not this year's. When are the next Olympics? Maybe
Real question. Do you think he's going to beat Bruno's record now? Like, are we just at that point?
Well, he's going to go through Hogan's first. So this is definitely a way to get him through Hogan's, right?
I mean,
it's a way for me to get me to jump off my fucking house is what it is.
Well, we don't want that. But we do want Kim Gray showing her support, saying, if Vince didn't cause me to quit watching WWE, I swear this tonight will. I just can't. I have a legit migraine from wrestling. Sean has sleep deprivation. I'm not going to speak to his if he's got a headache over there, but we are feeling it physically tonight. I mean, you're my boss, so that's one enough. But Hush is saying back into wrestling in 2022 when Cody returned, followed his journey, and now I feel like I wasted 2 years. This is so dumb, tragic. It is really dumb because last year felt like, and I always give Alan Cheapshot credit for this because he said you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, and that's what that moment felt like. And then they sold you on the story he was going to earn it back here. And then now here we are, and we're not doing that, but
I had somebody with the balls to tweet me, oh, this is the start of a bigger story for Cody. And I'm like, yeah, I remember that tweet from last April. I remember that tweet. Yeah.
His story is like stupid. The Iliad or the Odyssey. We are in a full epic at this point, but it's just not good for Cody, even if it's good for Roman Rock.
You know what this reminds me of? And listen, I know it's different because there are people that are excited about The Rock and Roman Reigns. So this isn't one of those things where there's going to be a lot of people like fake excited. There are some that want to watch the world burn, obviously. But you know how, especially in the Vince era, WWE became very self-aware at how shitty they were at booking things. And so often they'd be like, we're going to fucking do it. Watch us. We'll do it. Hey, you know how we're about to have Carmella come out and challenge Bianca, even though you've seen that 7 times? Oh, psych! Here's Becky. And then they turn around and they do a shitty thing anyway, and they have Becky win in like 12 seconds. Or they're like, you ready? You ready? This guy that worked really hard. Here's Mustafa Ali. He's climbing that ladder. Psych, here's Brock. They would do this thing where they were very self-aware at how stupid and how spiteful they were. And sometimes they would do the opposite. But then a lot of times they would also do that thing. And I'm not saying this is a stupid thing. It's going to be a huge match. I just very clearly don't like it to the other option. And
it just doesn't need the title. It just doesn't need the title. So it's very silly that we're doing it in this spot for the title. This makes Cody's contract status interesting. Any thoughts on that?
Sure does. No, I'm trying to find out. I'm asking.
All righty. Ryan, thank you guys so much for all the support today. I know this is a weird one. Ryan saying I was fine with Roman winning against Cody last year because I didn't think it was time for the bloodline to wind down. Now, this is the other piece of this. Jimmy just decided he's back in the bloodline. And you can't even really do, because The Rock is not going to be around this much. It can't be The Rock versus Solo. It can't be The Rock versus Jimmy. It can't be The Rock versus anyone else to kind of get there. So you don't even get the payoff of the young guys in this getting the rub in a sense. Any thoughts on that, Sean? No, it just sucks.
I know nothing but despair and heartbreak. I do remember when Cody first joined and we were here, Kate. We joked. Even Alex joined us, and we joked about the fact that this man's not going to see this any success or the belt for a long time. Like, we kind of just joked about it. Like, there's no way. Like, he's just going to come in here and win. Here we are, year 3, right? I think it is now. I've lost innings, lost games. I've lost everything. So,
well, we're in the 3rd, 5th, maybe. I don't know. But one thing I do know is on FightfulSelect.com, best $5 in the bid, Alex Pulowski is probably having an all-timer of a meltdown back there.
But for sure.
Carter Worley saying, not as interested in Roman Rock as I would be in Roman Cody too. The belt makes this match predictable and probably means Roman has it for another year. So Cody said he's not coming for Roman at Mania. He said he's coming for him later, but it reeks of.
Well, he didn't say later. He didn't say later.
Right now, did he say?
He said not at WrestleMania. He didn't say later.
Oh gosh,
because there's a lot of people naturally that are like, oh, what about Elimination Chamber, etc. I don't know. That would make an awful lot of sense to me. Please, for the love of God, do that. But then it's like, well, then who does Cody face at Mania? Because that doesn't make. Because then you're in a situation that makes even less sense.
And I also think you don't want that to happen at 7 a.m. Eastern time and 4 a.m. West Coast time.
I'll tell you what I want to happen at that time. Nothing. I don't want to exist at that point in time.
Andrew saying Cody Rhodes is such a geek. You lose at WrestleMania, manage to win at Rumble and have a shot at redemption and go, nah. See, that's tough too. And part of it is, I really, really like Cody the performer, and it seems like he's a really cool dude. But the creative that they've given him with the fake injuries and everything with Brock was just not very good too. But the light at the end of the tunnel seemed to be this time of year, and now we don't even have that.
Do you think this is a thing that might just be later on in the future where like, oh, do you remember? And it was such a great story the way it was laid out. Like, do we see that? Or do we have this icky feeling, 5 years from us and going, damn, that was just wrong?
Sure. If we find out that Pharaoh bites The Rock backstage and he is out of the WrestleMania match.
Oh, God, our subs would be through the roof on FightfulSelect.com. Best $5 in the biz if there was another dog biting backstage situation, but fortunately not the case that we've heard so far. Van Twin Blade saying, who cares about the Fed? We got the return of Alpha 1 this Sunday. Rohit versus Dan the Dad for the A1G belt. We hype y'all. Hey, Honestly, if you don't like this and you love independent wrestling and you love other brands of wrestling, go watch it. That rules. I love that you're shouting that out. Dan V900 saying Roman was absolutely correct about Seth and that title. Cody and Seth look like geeks. Cody beat Seth 3 times, and Heyman said last year that Roman was the son Dusty always wanted. Like, come on, it's insane. One thing I will say is he downplayed that other belt, and then Cody was like, you're right. Like, Roman coming out here being like, that's the loser's belt, and Cody was like, absolutely, I'm going after it anyway, is pretty stupid, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, Cody didn't even play up the value of that title during this promo.
Didn't have time.
I mean, I think it'd been nice if Cody said, that's disingenuous. You did not beat Seth Rollins. That was the literal point of him having the title, was he was the guy that Roman didn't really beat.
Ryan saying this has to be the ripple effect of the Punk injury. Now, the other name that's been getting tossed around in that picture is Gunther. You could easily just have him hold on to the Intercontinental title until WrestleMania and build out a story that way. Chad Gable, I feel like, is owed. Sheamus coming back would be really cool. There's a lot of IC stories that you could have. But this feels like, now what do we do with Elimination Chamber, Sean? We now have The Rock and Roman. We have Cody versus Seth, presumably. But we have another thing that's supposed to be for another title. Do we see that being the IC title, or do we see that being for maybe LA Knight to beat Logan Paul with, something along those lines? Kevin Owens. Any thoughts on what that might be?
I'd actually like to see Logan defend his title in like a ladder match or something at Mania. I think that would make an awful lot of sense for his skill set. For Elimination Chamber, I mean, I doubt it'll be a top contender. I don't think it can. I don't even know if Gunther can go over there right now. So it seemed like they were setting up, honestly, a lot of women's tag teams. But also, I think they're going to set up a top contender match there. But listen, a lot of people are asking about the ripple effect and all that. CM Punk was mentioning the Elimination Chamber like it was a foregone conclusion that was a top contender match. And all of a sudden, there you go. But it's hard for me to believe that this is something that they were just like, Punk's hurt, let's blow it all up and get The Rock, like it was something that they had in their back pocket. Now, that being said, and this is a theory, this is not a report, The Rock could say, you know what, we got an awful lot of bad press right now, a lot of really bad press, maybe this will help, type of thing, because the positive mainstream press of this will outweigh the in the bubble negative press that is people who actually watch the show every single week and now gotta deal with this.
Tim McFall saying, not gonna lie, Roman Rock is a big money match and Seth Cody will be better in ring, but come on, why have Roman run down Seth, who he never beat, and the title if Cody was choosing Seth? So dumb. I don't like that. I don't like that he diminished the title and Cody didn't rebut on that at all and then was like, I have no argument for you and I'm choosing that title anyway. No offense to either competitor. We've seen it 3 times as well. One of them was an incredible injury feat type thing. One of them was the return of Cody at Mania. But like, I've seen it. I don't know if I need to see it again.
Also, no shit, Sherlock, to the text message you just sent me. But
that was a silly.
Yeah,
Sean tries to keep the show between an hour and an hour 15, and I texted him and said, "Hey, just FYI, we're gonna go later than an hour tonight.
Gonna be longer." Sometimes booking isn't hard. Triple H has overthought this because of a Punk injury. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that and see like what type of chain reactions happened here. But the things I'm hearing initially are very confusing. And I'm not sure exactly how this all would have worked out.
Sure.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Big Moon, the reaction to this is cinema, along with the trouble team. SRS
very often do I get perturbed enough about what we see on the wrestling. Like, I've seen so much shit. I covered WWE through some really dark times, and this isn't a dark time. Choosing between The Rock or Cody Rhodes versus Roman is a very good problem to have. It's like It's an embarrassment of riches. But
I can tell you people are upset, Sean, just like you, because the community noted one of Triple H's tweets with Tiffany Stratton saying, nothing to celebrate. That's great. They're just like, people hate it right now.
Yeah.
DJ Inferno said Rock whispered into Cody's ear. Could this have also been Cody's decision, or would he be a part of the decision? I do kind of like the idea of them working in alliance together. I like that idea of Cody having orchestrated it, but that only really works if you get to something as significant as Cody Roman, and they don't really have the time to do that, right?
I guess I'm just shocked.
No
will Sean be at or will SummerSlam? Or are you asking if I'll be there? I will be at MSG. I don't know about for SummerSlam. So that's interesting. So it's interesting that this is brought up because as of a few months ago, the front runner was Cleveland. And the front runner for next year's Mania was Minneapolis. They've been waiting an awful long time to announce these, and until it's announced, it's not a sure thing. Now there's a press event, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific in Las Vegas next Thursday. I don't know. I might have to hop a flight for that. I don't know if I'll be doing that, but man.
Boy, oh boy. Star Leo saying, do you have any ideas how this might impact Elimination Chamber? Kind of covered that already, but could they perhaps have Cody beat Roman at Chamber instead? Feels really weird,
Possible.
even if SummerSlam is at MSG, to not do it at Mania after he lost to him at Mania.
Yeah. Woof, man. Woof.
Matthew England said, I think we should reserve judgment until Cody's path becomes more clear. There's still 64 days until WrestleMania. So being sold out is an interesting piece of this because they can play around more than they would if they were still trying to sell tickets.
Yeah, and that's an absolutely fair thing to say. That is an absolutely fair thing to say.
So is this. Taymor saying, Cody is just too unselfish. He did this for Roman and his family. Gotta give him credit. Cody seems pretty nice. He's at least nice to us. He won't Nancy Kerrigan him backstage. We know that. Sean's been pushing for it for a while now.
Yeah.
No one will convince me that this was the plan before Punk got hurt. My interest in Mania has severely degraded. Get ready for Roman to be champ until Mania 41, buddy. Whew.
My messages are insane right now.
Dan saying it was clearly set up for Drew to win the Chamber and face Seth, which would have been perfect in light of Punk's injury. Drew wins in front of fans.
Buddy, I don't think anything's clear right now. I don't think anything has been clear at all.
Yeah, and we also have Damian Priest feeling like the 8th most important guy on the show, and he has.
Why is he running around with this bag?
Cash in,
yeah.
Not a huge fan of that either. But Cody, Sam's saying it felt rough seeing Cody hand the keys over to The Rock. He should have chosen Seth instead. If that's the right direction, it made Cody look weak. I agree with that. This was Cody defaulting to Seth. Cody set up The Rock and Roman instead of made his own choice tonight.
Cody should have gotten pissed, beat up Mr. Senor Money in the Bank, take it and just say, you two fight. I'm going to sit outside of this ring and wait for y'all both to be done here tonight. Like, that would be some off-the-wall hook booking.
I'm going to let you finish. Caden said, I am sad, man. Write whatever you want about
Let's get to this generous one from Throwback. He said, the end of the show had a Rock versus Hogan feel. Them having the camera pan around them was great. Cody being pushed aside sucks. Hypothetically, couldn't we get Cody night 1, Rock night 2? Might put Cody in the Chamber to get Seth. I think that telegraphs an awful lot if you do that. And also, I don't think at this stage with that type of performance that you can trust anybody to work night 1 and night 2, especially a guy that does not work that often. Like, the risk of injury is very, very high in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Whew. That also kind of acknowledges this chat too. Thank you for doing that unintentionally in sequence. Brian Powell asking exactly that. Yeah, feels like you're asking for trouble. Feels like you're asking for trouble with something like that. Cody versus Roman. At Elimination Chamber, Cody versus Seth for the title night 1. These all feel like pity bookings, though. You know, it really
I mean,
feels
I
like
see people. So in addition to this one, I see people saying, "Well, what about Madison Square Garden if they run that before Mania or something like that?" I'm like, "Come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?"
People are being complacent. That's all it is. They just don't want to go against the grain, I guess, and fight
And
this.
Cody is the grain. Cody couldn't be more grain if he was in the amber field in the
1000%.
middle of the, like
he is the logo right
over
now.
guy.
He is the logo.
He really is. It's I think he's been over on the fact that he is great at this, and certainly not on his creative.
I don't know what these mean. Falcor? I don't know what they mean. I'm sorry.
A nice $5 donation from Vic. We've got are you?
I mean, this is the only thing it's getting super chatted about, so I'm hanging around a while.
No, sure. If you wanted to go and come back to, I don't know if you're getting messages pertinent to this that you have to tend to, but
the people that I should need to be on the phone with, I am not on the phone with right now. So.
Okay, that sounds good. And hey, they can send us money if they want your attention, all right? But Red Devil Gamer saying, this makes Cody look like a spineless idiot, in my opinion. 2 years of swallowing this crap from WWE. Part of me wishes he had stayed in AEW at this point. He said that's a personal issue, so we'll take that as a personal issue, that was not an option for him at that time. But it does feel like when he came over, it was a referendum on how you might be treated when AEW stars got to arrived to WWE, should they decide to make that jump. They rolled out the red carpet. They made a huge deal. I think he's still one of the most well-respected and getting the most screen time type guys. I always feel like WWE's measure of how over someone is screen time and not wins and losses, but this is rough.
This is depressing. I'm in my emo mode right now. I'm gonna start listening to some like emo punk. Be right back.
Aaron Smith saying, will the story now finish in Atlanta for SummerSlam or MSG for Survivor Series for reunification? As an Aussie, Chamber won't sell out unless Rhea defends in Chamber. Logan can't be the men's headline. Well, hello from Australia.
Well, they do have the tag title match booked. They have Rhea will be in a match there. They're going to have 2 Elimination Chamber matches. What else do they have booked? Something else is on Elimination Chamber.
It's going to push on Rhea versus Nia, I feel like.
But
it seems
now, here's the thing. Now we're seeing stuff like this where people are fantasy booking the location of yet to be announced PLEs in order to make this shit that doesn't make sense make sense. Like The Rock facing Roman makes sense. Of course, the family, the bloodline, yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera. However, it just doesn't make sense right here in this moment. It's Cody's moment. It's Cody's time. And hey, I'm gonna give everybody a big secret scoop inside news right here. Yeah, take that off there. They could have avoided this if they had Cody win the title last year. Hot damn! Right off the presses.
That is brand new information. Nobody has said that before. Not me.
To show me that you appreciate me giving you all that insight, please subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. It's just $5 a month. We have an incredible amount of news over there. It's just $54 a year for those of you who subscribe annually, but we have over 40 plus podcasts. I did a Q&A today where I had more great insight like that. Great insight like, had they done the thing that made sense a year ago, well, we wouldn't be in this position now.
Golly.
Genius from Sean. Mike saying, this would have been perfect for The Rock to endorse Cody against Roman and be the enforcer at Mania to fend off the bloodline. Leads to The Rock versus Roman later. Cody wins. Everyone wins this way. I love that idea. That's a great idea. Makes a lot of sense. It saves The Rock from looking silly with how not in ring shape he was.
Speaking of, we got somebody saying Rock wins and Priest cashes in. No! That's an even worse idea. And I love Damian Priest. I would rather Damian Priest beat him clean than The Rock. At least Damian Priest works. At least he wrestles. Hell no, I don't want to see that. Somebody's saying, wondering what the Elimination Chamber card is. I'm so perplexed by this. I think it'll be probably a pretty small card, like 5 or 6 matches. Probably 5 because you got the 2 chamber matches, I would imagine. Can we get Alex and Jensen on Sour Graps tonight? Listen, anybody on Fightful who wants to go click that StreamYard link over and hop on Sour Graps, you're more than welcome to.
God bless.
What if Seth isn't even clear by Mania? Seth will work Mania, barring some unforeseen thing. But, like,
Sure.
What if he has a setback?
Sure.
Oh, good God. What kind of a message is this in the locker room and free agents? I mean, WWE is, they always have been and always kind of will be we want this big ass thing on the marquee, right? Like, they have always been that. That isn't like anything new.
No. They have always been the we want this big ass thing on the marquee brand.
It's a spectacle, from what I heard one time.
You're not as quick on the draw as me, Kate. Rory says, surely it's Cody. God damn it. Surely it's Cody Roman at the Chamber. Solve the issue, and I'm there for it. So, yes, please. Listen, if they did that, it wouldn't be my ideal choice. But if Seth Rollins got to the ring and gloated and he was, very happy about Cody, you made the right decision. And Cody goes, you know what? I think that I did. But then next week on SmackDown, Cody comes out and confronts Roman again. And he was like, well, I did say not WrestleMania. I just didn't say not at Elimination Chamber as well. Well, you know what? Not the ideal scenario, but would my ass be up at 4 a.m. or whatever the hell it is? Yeah, probably.
I mean, but then we know that Cody's losing to Roman in Perth. Like, it's another
the results of everything anyway. All as things stand, Roman's beating The Rock too.
I know, but to see Cody lose again,
and here's the thing: it doesn't make any more sense to book The Rock against Roman, but Roman better win. If they're going to be like, hey, some 50-year-old guy that hasn't wrestled a real match in over a decade, and when he did, tore his adductor muscle off his goddamn wiener, then yeah, why do that? Why do that?
Friday nights, everybody.
Sean Meltdown.
What are we doing here?
So much. Hey, you know what? This is actually. Oh no, we don't have them tonight. That would have
Listen, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for the duration of these super chats. As long as they keep going. What bigger do I have to do on a Friday night? I'm not going to go down to the Clark's Pumpkin Shop and get some ice cream or anything. I'm here to talk to you.
So you're admitting that you quit our show for no reason. Thanks so much. Jonathan Corona saying they could have given Punk the win at Rumble, but no, here we are with Cody saying not WrestleMania, and Punk was right about The Rock taking Cody's spot on Raw a couple days ago. So Punk knew. Well, I don't think Punk would have been the right call because he no longer has a tricep. RIP Punk's tricep. We hope that his surgery goes well if it didn't already happen. I think it was slated for yesterday. So I don't know if Punk winning would have been the right call because they probably would have had to call an audible and end up exactly where we are anyway. I don't think the problem is with Cody winning Rumble. I think the problem is with Cody not facing Roman Reigns for WrestleMania one-on-one and pinning him clean as a sheet in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
I can rant too.
Please,
saying
please
you can't even use the excuse of them wanting to erase Hogan from history by having him beat Roman beat his record. They just used him for Rumble promos.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Also, this is great promotion for when the UXXFL WB thing starts in April for The Rock, right? He gets to promote the hell out of it. I mean, the man knows what he's doing.
I appreciate that a lot of people feel like this. Rock versus Roman would be great if Cody won last year, as reported by Sean just a couple minutes ago on here. Some more from Vic saying that so the story is The Rock somehow convinced Cody to go give up the main event of Mania to him. What could you possibly say to convince him of that? It's a good point.
What did he whisper in his ear?
Cody's going to be just bathing in Under Armour workout gear. Like the bribe that The Rock sent.
Yes.
Cody's going to be about drive. He's going to be about power.
Yeah.
Stay hungry until Mania 41, and he's going to devour. But Mitchell Glover saying Cody saves face at the Royal Rumble presser and busts his ass for nothing. Cody deserves way better than this crap. He did handle that Royal Rumble presser extremely well and always does. To your point before, he's the face of the company, Sean.
This reminds me of when like the Reds were no good, obviously. And I think what was it, 03, 04, whatever year Aaron Boone hit the home run.
Oh, yeah.
And I jokingly said after 90 years of the Red Sox, I'm like, there's always next year. Fortunately for them, there literally was next year. I'm not buying it. I'm not getting honey-dicked into this by WWE again. I'm not falling for it. WWE catfished us last year. They catfished us this year.
Bang bust us. You can say
I just want to say I was in my 30s when the Cody story started.
Scott Danielson says, very much appreciate the rant, Sean. Not going to make a rash decision, but genuinely considering selling my Mania ticket if this is the main event. We're not going to make rash decisions, but we are going to be rash in our reactions to this and assume that it means only the worst.
Wow.
That is going to be interesting because I think people bought their WrestleMania tickets for the shows that WrestleMania are, but probably assumed this was going to be the main event and probably assumed that safely because it seemed like the right call. Realm saying, crazy to me that the biggest pro wrestling company ever already blew the main event of their biggest show of the year 2 months before it actually happened. I feel like that happens more than it should, though. I'll be honest. Boris Johnson, who pops in from time to time, thanks so much, says, Alex, nice hat. Cody needed the turtle power. Turtles in a half shell, man. Turtles in a half shell. Red Devil Gamer saying, let's go back in time and ask The Rock to give up his WrestleMania main event and see what his answer is.
Oh my gosh.
Sean, reckless speculation. What do you think The Rock would say in such a situation?
Well, he'd probably tell everybody to kiss his ass, but I mean, he kind of did one year, the year he won the Rumble, and it became a 4-way. But I mean, that also sucked, if you recall. It was very shitty, in fact.
Just Mask Does Wrestling saying, I trust the process, but this is a head scratcher. Now, Mania is in Philly, and the way that Philly tends to trust the process, not great. Not great at it, but Sean Murphy. Roman just spent 5 minutes calling the World Heavyweight title the loser's bracket. Cody pretty much agrees, gives The Rock his shot, and chooses the loser's title. Yeah, I don't like that he had no counter for that in this promo as well. Kind of just ate shit on that. Does Cody Roman happen at Chamber now then? Do you think that's the next move?
What, Cody Roman at Chamber? I hope. I mean, I'm so sick of this holding pattern bullshit that listen, they did a lot of really exciting things completely separate of this on SmackDown. And what does it say that we're not talking about any of it? Because nobody wants to talk about all the great things that happen on SmackDown. They're just like, damn, this type of booking seems very, very familiar. Very familiar. Probably familiar because a guy named CM Punk rolled in and he's like, I remember when this happened to me. I remember when the same shit happened to me. They let two guys, not one, two part-time guys stroll right in and be like, what's up? Hey, I'm here. Oh, shit. No, I'm not. And then the other one's like, maybe I'm here. I don't know. The story isn't quite right last year or the year before. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Well, it doesn't make a damn bit of sense. Is the Vegas event open to the public? I don't know. I'm working to find out. I'm working to find out if I need to go to that damn thing.
Sean,
bottom
one
of the
thing
fifth now, maybe. Pardon me?
Oh, I was just going to say one thing that just became a little bit more interesting is what your betting odds on WrestleMania might be, and your betting odds on all these things that we are fantasy booking. And darn it, if there's not one place to go for that. Sean, do you want to tell us about Bet Online, or do you want Recorded You to tell us about Bet Online?
I want recorded you. I would want Recorded Me to say that because I need to breathe.
I figured as much. You go recharge. We're going to let
AG, the official betting. Hey guys, I'm here to tell you about Bet Online AG, the official betting partner of Fightful. Whenever you hear about odds for wrestling events, boxing events, MMA events, or really anything, it comes from betonline.ag. They have the earliest lines with odds open before the competition. You can bet big with high limits and rebet functionality. They have the fastest payouts with winnings paid in just minutes and the industry's best bonuses on every qualifying deposit. The biggest markets like NFL, NBA, NCAA, NHL, UFC, plus odds for things like WWE, AEW, and tons of other companies as well. They also have a bunch of popular games. They've been trusted for 25 plus years. As I mentioned, if we have odds here on Fightful, they are always coming from betonline.ag. Check it out, my friends. Bet what you can. Please bet responsibly. Oh, boy.
Wars by accident back here, but we move along with your super chats. Feel free to get in those super chats. We've got Sean sticking around here for a little bit. We'll get to the rest of SmackDown eventually, but Crew Kid sending in a nice chat here saying, WWE owes me $500. All the super chats you could have sent in for $500 saying, I bought these tickets assuming that Cody would beat Roman. This is effing bullshit. The most over guy in the industry gets little broed by The Rock because they couldn't help themselves. It does feel like he just got pushed down a peg.
Oh, yeah. A lot. Yeah.
I love this from Erwin saying, Cody should have borrowed Bayley's lead pipe. I'm wondering if Bayley borrowed it from Riho.
Straight to the knee. Straight to the knee.
It's true.
Man,
the Tanya Harding effect.
Even ESPN is covering this.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, obviously, look, it's the best numbers we've done on a post SmackDown show in a long time. Crazy. As a result. Whoa!
And the camera just went out. Look at that. That's how bad.
R.I.P.
That's how heated Alex is about this. But easy
so mad. Let me restart
it. Going to be a 15-minute match, 11 minutes of just face-to-face, and then 4 minutes of nothing. LOL. I mean, he did not look good when we saw him last. He has time between now and Mania to get into better shape, but that's another part of this, Alex, is the in-ring. I don't want to necessarily see from The Rock and Roman. Roman matches tend to be very similar in how they're done, and The Rock couldn't really go even in The Rock Cena 2, and that was like 15 years ago. So I'm nervous about that. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, I think you said it. That's my big concern is that he can't go. Did they press the Rock button because of Punk? I'm working to find that out. I'm working to find that out. By the way, I'll unstar them for when I read them, Kate. None of Roman's this match this year. Oh my God, his camera's gonna blow up. None of Roman's matches this year needed the title. Cody should have won. I completely agree with that. That's something that I've said. It's just never been something that's mandated. They had this man win back-to-back Rumbles for this. Yes, they had him win back-to-back Rumbles, become the most over guy in the company, sustain that, do it again, to not have him become the guy. Do you have any confirmation that The Rock versus Roman is actually set in stone for Mania? Or is there any chance it's just a weird story beat and we actually still get Roman Cody at Mania? Anything's possible. Anything is possible. I'll never 0% chance anything. However, this seems like a weird story beat to tease. One of the biggest matches in WWE history seems like a big one to tease. But also, if Triple H said before he brought in Punk, now keep in mind, I know this to be true. 2 weeks before Survivor Series, he was not considering bringing in Punk. The audience wanted it. The audience got it. Jonathan Corona says, looks to me like Sean is going to smoke a pack of the weeds.
That would be the second time on air.
There you go. The only way this kind of works is if Cody spent his time dismantling the bloodline, isolating Roman, and the last thing he does is take the title. Oh, I mean, yeah, I would love it. I'd love to find out that he's the one that brought Naomi back, and Naomi pulls Jimmy away from the bloodline. I would love to see that. I would love to see like Jacob Fatu come in and Jacob Fatu go up to Solo and being like, man, I haven't heard from you forever. He's kept you away from all of us. What's going on? And then Solo's like, damn, you're right. We hear him talk. I think there's elements of that could work. Taylor says, I know The Rock versus Roman is a huge match. Why can't that happen at Chamber for the people in Australia? I mean, it could. And if I were WWE and if I were The Rock, a new board member, I would want to maximize the importance of every PLE possible. So, yeah, I don't have a good reason for that. Miguel saying Cody faces Roman at the next MSG show.
Who cares? It's WrestleMania.
This is silly. You damn right it is. Rhodes got CM Punk. I'm sick. And Punk warned him about it, too. Didn't Australia push for The Rock to beat Elimination Chamber? Yeah. But here's the thing. He said, or not he, Cody said, I'm coming for you, not at Mania.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Cody Roman at Chamber, Cody Seth at Mania. Seth gets his main event. Cody unifies all the belts again, brings back the Winged Eagle. Let me cope.
I said he should win Rumble and Elimination Chamber, lose to both of them, have a psychotic break, and turn back into Stardust. I was joking.
Wow. Wow.
No.
Ma'am.
Cody got banished to the title. Roman buried. Well, it looks like I'm going to fucking Vegas next week. I've never been so disappointed to be blessed with the ability to travel.
Are you going to go into the Big Sphere? Is it being held in the Big Sphere?
I don't know where it is, but
are you going to gamble?
Huh?
You going to gamble? You going to do the zip line over the skyline?
No, I'm going to go for an overnight and go to fuck home, Kate. That's Oh my God.
More chats. Connor Cunningham, why have the Royal Rumble match? I don't want to see him at WrestleMania. I want Cody versus Roman. It's simple. Have Cody beat Roman. Roman's now beaten. Rock challenges Roman because he's a loser. Can't be the tribal chief. Yeah, feels pretty
This is crazy. This is just crazy.
Tamai Danta says, was there a secret deal where Cody won Rumble for The Rock and The Rock ends Roman and then handing Cody the titles? That feels very heely and convoluted.
Seems weird. I'll be back momentarily, guys.
Ooh.
All right, we'll talk a little bit of the rest of SmackDown. Sean will be back. We'll get to the rest of your super chats. They keep coming. We're going to have to end the stream. We're going to go through a couple of these cute little ones, though. Tom LaValle saying, no adrenaline in my soul. Main event is not my role.
Oh, I like that. Look at that.
Heartbreaker.
Man, you guys are good.
They are good. And Jake Neal saying, 2 new nicknames for Cody, Cucky or Kofi Rhodes. Ouch. I really do feel bad for him. But let's get into the rest of SmackDown. We're going to fly through this as much as we can because there's so many chats and we're going to want Sean back on to answer those for you. But this does start with a video package of the Royal Rumble. I don't normally call anything out in these, but I just thought it was very cool that Jordan Grace was toward the front of the video package. Really cool with the TNA crossover. Absolutely loved having that. But let's dive ahead a little bit here. We get Logan Paul with a promo. He comes out. He says Alabama sucks. Can you believe a heel would say such a thing? Calls Kevin Owens a pissed off donuts. Calls the roster brittle. This I actually liked. I liked him calling the roster brittle. He should play up the fact that he's young and athletic and playing to his strengths. Mocking CM Punk and Seth Rollins for their injuries. And then Owens sits there, soaks in the cheers, and he says, well, I think Birmingham is actually pretty great, which I love how human he always sounds. He says that Logan Paul is an unbearable idiot and that he got a moral victory last Saturday because he knocked Paul out, and he kind of refocuses on the U.S. title here. Paul says that Owens had only one shot at his title and that the brass knuckles were set up. He was playing, I actually liked this line because it feels like something I would say. You were playing chess while I was playing Go Fish. Or I was playing chess while you were playing Go Fish. I kind of liked that. And he says, and Owen says that he won't need the brass knuckles to beat Logan Paul. And we move along to our match, which had Kevin Owens defeating Austin Theory with a Blue Thunderbomb-ish variation. I think that's what Sean was talking about before, but I couldn't identify it fully. Paul tries to give Austin Theory the brass knuckles, but Owens got his hands on them first. The referee is distracted by Logan Paul, and Owens hits Theory with the brass knuckles for the win. After the match, Owens chases Paul through the crowd. So we're setting up a rematch, but here are my complaints. Match is great. Austin Theory is great in the ring. I'm very sick of seeing Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory / Grayson Waller. I'm hoping Grayson Waller has a big moment in Perth. That's something we haven't talked about when we've been talking about the Elimination Chamber card. Really hoping they do something big for Grayson Waller. Why is Kevin Owens a face cheating? I hate the idea that, like, well, if he used it first, I get to use it, especially right after he says, I don't need the brass knuckles to beat you, but I need them to beat Austin Theory. That makes no sense. And I'm just kind of fatigued on him continuing to fight Austin Theory and Grayson Waller over and over again. Any thoughts on this, Alex, as we fly?
You know how I feel. You know how I feel about my good friend Logan Paul. I think he's one of the most natural athletes in WWE going today. I can't wait for all this to be kind of over. I understand the name calling, it gets old. The bathing your body with Prime gets old. Like I want to see fighting. I think he's a great athlete. I want to see that in the ring. Everything else to me just doesn't click. You know what does click is the fighting. I'm sorry. You know, like I'm giving in. He's a great in-ring performer. He doesn't want to be a part-timer from what he's saying, you know, on television. So, you know, let's move that along and just have him get his face bashed in. I guess that's where the point I was getting to.
I agree. I like to see people talk shit and beat the snot out of each other. Let's get to that. But we got a quick Tiffany and Naomi to SmackDown call-up. K775, I see your chat. That's for Sean asking about the NXT call-ups. We'll get to those when he gets back. But very happy that Naomi is back in WWE. Sure. She's a superstar. And I've gotten to see the growth and trajectory of Tiffany Stratton. She's fantastic. She's going to do wonderful things on the main roster. Her finish tonight was a little bit awkward, but I'm telling you, she lands that thing as a thing of beauty with more consistency than most. You're going to like what you see out of Miss Tiffany Stratton if you haven't been watching NXT. But we've got your title qualifier, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate versus the LWO versus Pretty Deadly versus Los Lotharios. Now, I don't think they could have found a more convoluted way to get to a team from SmackDown faces a team from Raw. And I swear to God, if British Strong Style loses to Awesome Truth, I'm gonna complain about it on the internet. Okay, I really will. I don't know why, if you have two guys carrying the brunt of the match anyway, you don't just have the match be between the two of them. But this is where not having the title split kind of hurts, in my opinion. I really feel like if you have the division on Raw cooking the way it does, and you have the division on SmackDown cooking the way it does, you could be having a lot more fun with this tag picture. I don't want one team losing at WrestleMania to Judgment Day, and I certainly don't want Awesome Truth beating Judgment Day at WrestleMania when you have Imperium around, a DIY around, and British Strong Style reunited. Really, really, really wish they would split the titles that are so rarely defended anyway. But British Strong Style does take the W for this. We get in the match, and Pete Dunne is doing that manipulative joint finger spot that the Tekker fans love so much. And Tyler Bate tags in, and the two hit their tandem finisher on Kit Wilson for the win. Not sure why this is a 4-pack if you're going to have the two teams that have been feuding anyway be the ones in most of this match. But very happy about British Strong Style being reunited, continuing to pick up some wins. I'm excited to see what they're able to add to the tag division. I'm excited to see Pete Dunne back, not Butch. Good stuff here. No major complaints. I just feel like it didn't really need to be a 4-pack so much. Any thoughts here?
I'm in love with Pretty Deadly. I'm still waiting for them to send me a 1/3 crop shirt that I can wear here on the stream with Kate. But at least for myself, I can wear it, not Kate. I think I look great. When they got beat up and they were outside of the ring, it was there was a moment where they kind of like lay on each other to console each other. That was great. Pete Dunne, I like the dynamic between the both of them, Tyler and Pete. Tyler's like a more cool hand Luke, like chilling, like raising his hands, like, come on, buddy, come on, patting him. And he's like staring at the screen, like, you know, like he looks like you punch him in the mouth and just say, I love you, bro. That was just because you were annoying me, you know? So
it's true.
I like where it's going. I'm excited. And you mentioned something. There's a lot of factions. WWE's faction now. We're back to the Attitude Era. So there's a lot of chances that you can take these factions and give away the titles, you know, split them and still have, there's so many freaking fights that we can have. We don't need them to be united.
Pulaski pointed out the other day, there's a lot of 3 guys and a girl. It's a lot of 3 guys and a gal. We get that with Legato here, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But this match was preceded by a really nice vignette that reintroduces Elektra Lopez from NXT back into the Legato picture. We had talked about this for a couple weeks in a row, that it seemed like she might be headed back here. You saw how awesome her presence was, I feel like, in this vignette. That's pretty much all this was. They were just at a table with some wine. Santos Escobar saying that they have an unbreakable bond and welcomes her back. And she says, I never left. Their mission is to eradicate the LWO, and they toast to loyalty. So this was a whole bunch of fun. I've been pushing for Elektra Lopez to be back in this role. I think it plays to her strengths, but we're going to welcome Sean Ross Sapp back into our family. The Elektra Lopez, I've always said it, of Fightful. Just this beautiful Latina woman coming to kick butt. But Sean, I'll let you hear
about it. The Latin representation on SmackDown, El Jefe Escobar. Yo, I'm bowing down, man. I'm bowing down. This is what I wanted to see. This is a representation of the Latino culture, and they're doing it so damn well. Like, it's about damn time. I was so tired of the way that they were just comparing everything to Eddie, and all the Latino movement would start, stop, and kind of get pushed under the rug. This, to me, feels big time. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Alex hates Eddie Guerrero is what I heard.
Listen, he owes me money.
He owes me money. Sean, get back to Doyle.
Yeah, I want to get to some of these big super chats because, I mean, when people spent a bunch of money, I don't want them to wait all night. To clarify, Rock apologized, thanked Cody for doing the job on this. I hope Cody rips the strap off of Roman before Mania, but not ideal. We just can't have nice things. It is just such an obvious thing. And this is him saying, I'm thinking Rock is just trying to combat Vince's mess, still doing damage to the shows, but Rock thanked and apologized that this needed to happen. I mean, I can tell you that nobody seemed to know about this as of day one. Like that show when The Rock was backstage there, because the vibe that people close to Cody got was that The Rock wasn't going to be in the way of that.
Oh boy.
But this,
I also hate the idea that Cody's not a megastar who's PR friendly.
it's wild to reckon with, because it is a huge match. It's an enormous match. It's one of the biggest matches in WWE history, but it's also one of the biggest matches. And then it really alienates a gigantic portion of their audience. Mm-hmm. We have so far read one super chat that is kind of in favor of it. One. Right now, I've got a poll on my Twitter. 80.6% prefer Cody versus Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. And Shabu again says, in all seriousness, if you're a top talent in the company right now, how do you feel? No matter where you're at on the card, you can be pressed up or passed up for The Rock even after the old man leaves. Yeah. For years and years and years and years, it goes back to that situation. It's got to feel deflating, because not only did Cody get over, Cody saw the writing on the wall, left the company, navigated the world for years, helped start another company, came back, became the most over person in the company, and still The Rock slid in and said, "What's up?" I couldn't be me, man. Couldn't be me. I'd have been like, where did Bayley leave that pipe? Meet Normus said, here's a little tribal beef. Kiss my grits money for the Fightful crew. What in the blue hell are they going to do with Cody's story? Can't see Roman losing at Chamber to Cody and to Rock at Mania. It really makes very little sense in whatever the hell it was they were setting up prior to this. Like with Punk and Rollins, were they going to go Punk, Cody, Rollins? If so, how did they make that make sense? Because how would they have squeezed CM Punk in there? Hell if I know, man. Jay Patel says, this mean Cody is a loser? I'm so annoyed as I finished my payment plan for Mania week. Last year's tweet that Cody has a bigger story. Come Philadelphia. Thanks for all your hard work. And for a lot of people, it's that goddamn video game. How do you think 2K feels right now? How do you think 2K feels right now? Woof. Was the SI article that off after all? Yes, it was. I mean, I got a phone call from Sports Illustrated apologizing to me for it. Juan Guzman says Cody versus Randy Orton at Mania. If Cody beats Roman at the Chamber, and at Mania have Priest cash in. Stop that. Stop it. Why all this stuff? It's Cody beating Roman for the title clean. I love Damian Priest. I've been a supporter of Damian Priest longer than quite literally 99% of this audience. When he was punished with Martinez, killing it in ROH. Whew. Juan says, after finishing or watching that Cody documentary, I worked my ass off to get those WrestleMania tickets. I feel like an idiot. We see a lot of that tonight.
A lot of people attending. A lot of people attending Mania that are unhappy about this and considering selling their tickets. And they're not cheap tickets, man. Those are expensive tickets.
You know, it's crazy to read these. Have you read these super chats because it's everywhere. People are actually feeling like this. They got the total opposite going their way now.
Josh Humphrey says, I don't care about it being the money match. How do they take the face of or make the face of the company look like that? WWE has never catered to the fans that watch the product consistently. It's catered to casuals. Yeah. I mean, that's just the reality. That's what they do. And that's what they've done for a long time. Brian sends a monster super chat, probably for all the ones he's going to miss, because he says, I think I'm done wrestling or done with wrestling good after this. Been a weird ride for the last few years watching AEW and WWE, but after everything that happened recently, it's become too toxic and plain dumb. Time to bid farewell, but keep being the best. SRS. Listen, I appreciate you, Brian. I hate that you're leaving. I hope you continue to give it a little bit of a shot here and there, but I understand a lot of people are very, very frustrated.
Having a lot of fun in New Japan, I'm just saying.
Cancel. I got it for how long? How long, buddy? Everybody's leaving. Logan says, cancel my network subscription when I saw Cody walking out of the ring. This is so depressing. Damn. Jocelyn says,
The Rock is becoming depressing.
The Rock got hurt during the match. Roman starts showboating and Cody's music hits, finishes the story. This is wishful thinking.
Is that a Shane McMahon moment where Snoop Dogg takes over?
We can't be rooting for injuries. This is WrestleMania. That's bad. That's bad. I'm if we're rooting for people to get hurt.
Get through some of these that are more like comment readers. Shabu says, poor Cody is trending on Twitter. Cody looked genuinely pissed walking away. It certainly did feel like that. Lex Luger. This ain't even Lex Luger. This ain't even that. Lex, if they put the title on Lex, I'd have been like, yeah, okay.
Lex Luger. Oh my God.
They did this to distract from the bad news. I think that's a reasonable thing to wonder.
Wade Barrett's
have Rock Roman at Saudi. News. I feel like I'm in Saudi right now. Cade says, wonder if there's any idea about how Seth feels right now. Probably pretty goddamn great, honestly. Sure. Probably pretty incredible. Is Rock Roman a distraction from real life news? I'm going to say there's a pretty good chance. Yeah. LOL at the 2K24 ad, aged like milk. Oh, yeah. Bruno's record in sight? I'm going to say, yeah, possibly. Why the hell not?
That's crazy.
Cade, thank you so much. What's the percentage that Triple H is a stinky dummy? I'm gonna say we're gonna go 70% right now. Stinky dummy.
70% stinky dummy.
That sounds like an old Hogan promo from the WCW days. You stinky dummy.
Does the process know it's being trusted? I don't think we know shit right now. This is very frustrating. Gonna be some epic SRS YouTube shorts out of this, man.
Some good rants in here tonight.
Man. Card subject to change, brother. Yeah, I guess. Screw it. Cody Okada and Mania. No, Cody's got a title shot coming.
Also,
Cody on Smackdown next week.
Like, you can't tease Rock Roman and then renege on that. That is also a stupid idea, I feel like. So if
these are all bad ideas.
Really dumb. Yeah.
Very. Cody on Smackdown next week. What could that mean? Hopefully he says, psych! That's what I want him to say. Jake says, adrenaline in my soul. Damian pins Cody. Oh no. A little extra money for SRS's rant, or epic and entirely correct rant. Rumors of SummerSlam at MSG. Why would they do SummerSlam at MSG? I mean, unless it was just specifically to finish the story. I mean, you can get 30,000, 40,000.
It's WrestleMania moments. Cody should beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania clean one-on-one. This is not that hard.
They could add a third night to WrestleMania.
God, the never-ending story. Their marketing for 2K23 looks dumb AF. I'm done with Rocky. At least Batista won his shot. I mean, The Rock is one of the biggest celebrities in the world, so I get off work to this. This is a work. It has to be. Well, I tell you what, somebody's getting off to this too. It's just very mental. I live in Minnesota. Mania can be in my neck of the woods. I hope so for your sake, my friend. Best way to go from here for Seth Cody. Well, my decision would be simply don't, but because I think legitimately Drew, Sammy, Seth is a perfect example of Seth's workhorse title type of thing that he talks about. But Cody made it seem more about like hindering Roman than picking Seth. BRB subbing to Fightful Select to hear Alex scream. Oh boy.
He's going to be on an all-timer. You don't think there's an attraction match, do you? Like we're getting Cody versus Stone Cold or something?
Whoa.
I don't know.
I'm grasping at straws, people.
Was Randy Orton on the Rumble? Did I miss that?
Was he in Rumble?
Was he in the Rumble?
Not the actual Rumble match.
He had the 4-pack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I don't know why. In my head, I thought that he didn't work because I'm not used to him even being back now. Cody Randy at Mania after he just lost the title match. I don't know.
For not the title, that feels wrong.
Yeah. I don't know why. For some reason, my mind skipped right over him being in that 4. Was he on the show tonight and I missed it?
No.
Okay, that's why. Another year
Cody
of
versus
versatility.
Gunther for his dad's title for real, like, is also like the IC title is his dad's title. That would make sense. I could see that.
Darren Walker says Cody Gunther at Mania if he wins the title Elimination Chamber.
ENR, I saw your Big Josh Stanhood, by the way, on that last chat. Thank you so much. I respect that.
Also Big Josh.
Big Josh.
So I got through some of the smaller super chats. I'll get through a few more of those that we can just read off his comments. But H King says, after all that's happened, I get why people are feeling angry. Copium booking. Night 1 as Rock Roman. Night 2 as Cody Roman. Still time to salvage this. There is time to salvage it, but he said not at Mania. He said that. Justin says, I'm in a fake injury. Bless you, my friend. Eddie Melendez says, last super chat, do you think it's Mania 30 all over again when fans revolted and Daniel didn't win? Probably with this negative publicity, they have to force Cody into Roman and Rock. I think there's a real opportunity for Cody to get that type of reaction. And Slide Away says, won't be shocked if people turn on the match. Well, I mean, they were chanting for The Rock.
Sure,
unless those were laid in over top or something. What?
I'm worried that the match is going to suck. Like, the in-ring is going to be terrible. You're going to get this moment where they stare at each other, and then the match is going to be bad.
Cena steps over Cody. Mania 41. Hogan at 42. Is Cody still the one to dethrone Roman? Fuck, I don't know, man. Sting is legitimately going to win a championship before Cody.
Oh, Jesus.
He's going to finish his story and retire.
Oh, my God.
Easy breezy. Rock using his TKO powers to make Hunter put his ass on the Mania card. He doesn't got to make anybody put him on anything. He just shows up and takes it. Why do I watch WWE? They just keep breaking my heart. Whew. Now, listen, we're going to get a sequel to 2K24, literally, because he's not finishing the story till 2K25.
My God, they wasted back-to-back Rumbles. I'm just like, as we're talking about this, realizing this. He's a back-to-back Rumble winner.
That's crazy.
Oh, that hurts my head and my heart and my brain and my thoughts.
I just see everybody burying it on Twitter. And I mean, our audience is a reflection of that as well. They're going to do an 8-week build up for the top title in the company where neither wrestler shows up to work. Exactly. And I'm sure that that's something Seth Rollins is going to say on the show.
He should.
Well, you better watch this show if you want to see the promo for WrestleMania, because you're not going to see it on the other show.
Yeah.
This leads to Cody turning heel and unhinged. This terrible booking decision might be worth it. No, crazy Cody would get over as a babyface. He's justified. Like, of all the things I'm excited to see, I just want to see what Drew's going to tweet and what he's going to say on Raw in response to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why should we care about full-time guys if they're presented as inferior to part-timers? Wonderful question. Don't have an answer for you. You're absolutely right. But this is what happens every single year. Somebody who's there for a year or there for a little while or is actively retiring gets put into the main event spot. It's WrestleMania. Maybe that's a part of the attraction. However, I felt like this year's Royal Rumble was a perfect example of what they have. Not what they had, what they have. And what they have is a Royal Rumble so robust that, like, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa and the Creeds and a lot of these guys aren't in it. There's a lot of really good talent that weren't in it.
When was the last time we had this many organically over baby faces? Sammy, Jay, Cody, Punk when he was around, LA Knight. Like, we have not had this many organically over baby faces in so long, and they're just burning them.
Insane. How about Braun Gunther? I would love Braun Breaker. Yes. I would love Braun Breaker. As far as The Rock, I wonder what The Rock whispered to Cody before Cody walked back.
Under
Any
Armour apparel
guys?
For life. I like yours. I think it was your story is Under Armour apparel unlimited for the rest of your life.
And he's part of the family.
There you go.
He is not Cody Anoya.
You have a seat at the table. It's a high chair, but you're there.
He did. That's why he promised him a seat on the table. Yes.
There you go.
It's about drive. It's about power.
We're still hungry. We devour. Put in the work. Put in the hours.
Can't even lie. This is disheartening. Kind of tuned out outside of Punk and Cody's story. Feel a little jaded this Mania. I'm with you. Jaded. Does this feel like it's probably a pivot where we might get a happy ending where Cody and Jay leave Mania 40 as world champs? Jimmy's facing Jay. That's the direction they're going there. No, I don't think so. I think there's more of a chance of Jay attacking The Rock and costing him the match and then rejoining the bloodline than I do him leaving as world champion, and I don't think that's going to happen. Chase U, Rainmaker versus Big Roman, head of the table. I will finish this. Get out of here. SRS, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Cena cash in his Rumble win back in 2008 to face Orton earlier? Could this be the same route? Could be. If this is our only option, then should be.
Everything else just feels like a compensatory pick in the NFL draft. Do you know what I mean? Like doing it at Chamber, doing it next year. Like it all just feels so much like a step down.
All right, who wants to be released and take one for the team and take out The Rock? Any takers? Booking
Nancy
for
Kerrigan.
potentially SummerSlam on the road to Mania is just depressing. Feels bad, man.
Does feel bad.
But then how does Cody get a title shot at SummerSlam?
SummerSlam,
What does he do? Does he win Money in the Bank? Any chance Cody takes the belt from Roman at Chamber? And then Okada debuts. Well, I mean, that deal isn't done yet. It's just not done yet. We get more of the Roman night 1, night 2. Nope. Rock Roman not for the title at Mania. Takes head of the table at Mania. What's it matter? What's that matter? The Rock should not be in a position to beat Roman Reigns either.
Right.
It should be an active current talent that is going to be the face of that show for a long time.
Agreed.
I know some people hope the online reaction might force them into a reverse course, but the arena reaction would encourage them to continue. I always heard about how Vince would be on the other side of that curtain and he'd hear people react for Corbin and he'd be oblivious to the TV reaction. It's not just the match, it's how Cody was presented. He looked real stupid and second rate, leaving the ring to the real stars. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a problem. The match is an issue, and then the segment.
He looked
with
small
them.
walking away. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Time for a Cody face turn, Homeland style, obviously. How about they get the belt off Roman before Mania? I just want the belt off of him at this point.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted with him having the title belt and not being on the show. I left this review in part because of that, because he wasn't on the show very often. And I was like, you know what? My wife's a teacher. My Friday nights are very important to me personally now. They haven't given you an incredible reason to need me, the newsbreaker, on the show, right?
A newsbreaker.
Jesus Christ.
just
Roman and
left
Cody, if
me.
they want to stretch it at SummerSlam, it's a possibility, but it does seem weird. It does seem weird. Sean, you need to go to the Vegas presser for my sanity. Nobody can be trusted. It looks like I am. Looks like I got to go stay in a friggin' Cincy hotel Wednesday night and fly out Thursday morning.
But Sean, how are you going to keep your connection secure when you're in Vegas and away? What are you going to do to keep all of your devices safe and secure while you're on the road?
Well, I got Nord. Oftentimes we talk about NordVPN.com/Fightful, and I'm telling you about one or two different features that they have. How about this? I'm going to tell you about a bunch of them. Threat protection, global server network, safe from disruptions with their kill switch feature. They have reliable encryption. They have the fastest VPN on the planet. A 30-day money-back guarantee. Great deals at all times. Incredible reviews online from some of the best publications in the world, and 24/7 support in case you don't know what you're doing or how to use it. They got you covered. Shield your data from snoops and criminals. Protect yourself on public Wi-Fi. Secure every device you own. Add extra layers of security to your digital life with NordVPN.com/Fightful. If you're abroad, listen to your favorites. I know a lot of wrestling fans have been traveling a lot more with big events. NordVPN.com/Fightful will protect you. And I rarely do back-to-back ads, but we've got a ton of super chats to get to. And this is doing great numbers, so I want to give them a value read. If you want to bone your audience as hard as WWE did tonight, you know, Fightful and Blue Chew have been at it a long time. Maybe you've been at it a long time. Maybe you're lacking that motivation. Maybe you're lacking that confidence. You don't think you have what you once had. Blue Chew is here to get you there. BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. You'll get your first shipment free. Of what? Well, it's a chewable tablet that has the same ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so it gets your performance ready to go. It's prescribed online. It ships straight to your door. You do an online consultation, and if approved, you'll be back to that main event level performance. Sometimes it's not even about performance. It's about that confidence. And Blue Chew is going to make sure that you have that. Blue Chew and the code FIGHTFUL. Your first shipment free. You just pay $5 shipping. What is there to lose? BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL.
You popped me with that one.
I'm very good at this.
You aren't popped. BlueChew.com code FIGHTFUL.
Oh, Jesus. Stop it, ma'am. How dare you? I just ordered.
All interest for Mania, sadly.
Really? Wow, this is crazy. People are tweeting Triple H saying stuff like, I know you will never read this and it doesn't matter. And people are like, big people are like retweeting and saying, no, it does matter. And like people with influence are retweeting what these fans are putting out there. Like, listen to your freaking audience, bro.
Yeah.
Summer Rae's been going off on Twitter saying this really, like, this is horrible. Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Summer Rae's pissed.
You go, Summer Rae.
Hell yeah. Oh, boy. I don't know. You can get through some of the super chats there, Kate, if you don't mind.
Sure. Michael Damage says that he's just pissed that Pharaoh didn't bite anyone. I mean, Sean's been asking for that since the beginning here. We got some more chats from you guys. We got a lot of chats from you guys. I'm trying to give some bigger ones some juice here, but Julia saying Punk got hurt, guys. They had to call an audible. This will not be a title defense. This will be for the head of the table and the start of Cody taking everything from The Rock.
I don't give a shit.
So much
I don't fucking care, bro. Come on.
It's also like I don't have any optimism that they do that anymore. They have given me no reason to believe that's going to be the case. Isaac saying they think think they swerve us when they drive, and do you think that they do Cody and Roman at Chamber? A lot of people asking that tonight. I almost don't care because it's a foregone conclusion Cody would lose, and it's not Cody Roman at Mania like we were leading towards. It's rough. Body saying between Cody finishing his story and Ricochet's beard, the Fed is just lying to us. Fake. Give me more Homelander. Cody going off the rails now. I don't know anymore, says CM88. Craig Fuller saying that Cody Rock tag versus Roman solo to mirror Mania 1. Just barf with these. No offense to you guys. It's not your booking that's bad. It's comparatively to what they've been telling us. We got this before, but Shabu again, who's Mark Losper, a great supporter of the show, saying, genuine question, does this risk Cody's extension? Man.
I've still not heard any comment on whether or not he signed. It was made clear to me that we would know when he signed. You know, when somebody's like, oh, well, this is the start of Cody's other story, and maybe down the line, here's what I think of. I think of this obscure tweet from like 13 years ago where Josh Koscheck, UFC fighter, says, that sucks, Dana White, but you're the boss. Now what? I just get to sit around and play with my ding-dong. I need more excitement in my life. Flip. I don't know what that means, but that's how I feel like Cody feels right now. Never forgot that.
Well said on all counts. Shrugan also saying, Cody, at the next presser, we had an amazing week. I'm just trying to focus on the positives. Aiden McGowan saying, do you think Triple H even has a say in this, or was this all Nick Khan and The Rock? I mean, there's the guy on creative
influence for sure. There absolutely is Endeavor influence. 100%. Yeah.
Justin Lee saying, Cody said not at WrestleMania. Cody finishes his story 4 a.m. Central Time. Yikes. I don't think so, and I just feel like any stage other than Mania is a joke at this point. But Dylan Scott saying, if the goal is to pass Hogan, I believe he would have to hold the title past SummerSlam. Could do Survivor Series. Survivor Series at the Garden would be cool if that's the way they wanted to go.
Another dove cries.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Isaac saying, see, if I was WWE, I would do Cody versus Seth versus Drew versus Sammy for the world tour title. If I was WWE, I would do Cody versus Roman one-on-one at WrestleMania on night 2 and have Cody beat Roman clean and give people what they wanted for a million years.
I quit the show for just that suggestion.
Murray 504 says, been watching wrestling for 45 years and have been disappointed for the last few years. But this match between Io and Bayley is going to be awesome. A happy thing.
Holy shit.
Happy thing.
Wait, hold on. People are sending in chats about other things. Yeah, it will rule. I'm very excited for them. I loved when Bayley spoke Japanese.
Yes.
Oh, that was so good.
From my Japanese lessons today, she said, I understand. I love her being smart enough to have an idea that this was happening. That was so cool to have a smart baby. Complete contrast to what we got at the end here, but her knowing this was going to happen completely justifies her not going after Rhea. I thought that was particularly well done, and it's a great example.
After this, I'll get a few of them, by the way, but after this one,
Rafael Garcia saying, going for the title in the main event at Mania. That's the point of the Rumble. I get Roman doesn't need the title. But that's a main event. What the P? I think he meant what the F, which stands for what the fuck?
Yeah, we're dropping the F-bombs today. You guys have paid us so much money that we can just say it. Fuck.
Oh, the FCC is going to get a check.
You said it earlier.
Mo says, like your hat, Mr. Cardoza. Be better if it was Mikey.
Thank you. Positive.
Stop giving Triple H an out. He has awful ideas too. Everybody does. I mean, he's just got significantly less terrible ideas than Vince McMahon. Boxcar Racer says Roman beats Bruno's record at this point. No one cares. And I mean, if you're defending your title 3 or 4 times in a year, what value is that? I just don't see it. I wonder where Dakota stands in Io Bayley. So that was an interesting thing. I feel like she masterminded it all. I feel like she was the one that masterminded it all. Rock was on ESPN talking Mania. I should have known. Jordan Scott says, your meme isn't a meme anymore. I don't even know which one at this point.
Nancy Kerrigan one, I think.
Mr. Sean, have you tried Blue Chew? Of course, every single day of my life before I do a show. Drinking at the MO says, kind of confused where all that is going. Me too, brother. Julia sends a very generous one and says they're scrambling to bring because of the Punk injury. Cody takes everything from Roman. That starts by having him removed his head of the table. For Rock, head of the table is bigger than the title. All things considered, I get it. Yeah, but the biggest storyline on the WWE program over the last 2 years or the last however long has been Cody finishing the story.
Yeah.
Because Roman hasn't been around to do the bloodline aspect of it that much.
He's also the best at press. His merch sales are always super high. I see that on Fightful Select all the time. He's out there being best man at weddings. He is out there doing everything you want a face of the company guy to do. For what? To not be the face of your company?
That's probably it. They probably just didn't book him in that match because he's got to do a wedding.
Oh, that's probably it. He's probably got like, oh, it's Pharaoh's dog sitter's bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
That I have to be it. Yeah.
Fantastic says, is it possible we see Liv, Becky, Rhea at Mania? It's possible, but I highly doubt it. They've done nothing to indicate that is the direction. I think my last super chat. Oh, buddy, they didn't get lost in the shuffle. There's a lot of them still here. We got 47 of them still in the back end, and that's before the Humper chats.
Yeah.
BB says, think my last one got mixed or lost in the shuffle. Curious how Seth and Cody fixed this on Monday. They look like geeks. Roman's promo was savage towards Seth because he was right on so many things. Well, I mean, Seth was also right on so many things. Roman's not there. And he can say Roman never beat me because that's accurate. This was Mania 39, night 2 levels of WTF. It's very weird. It was very weird. Shabu again says, if people really think this is damage control for the Vince stuff, know what else would take people's minds off of it? Putting on great shows and finishing the one good story you have. I completely agree. But from a mainstream coverage perspective, this is it.
My dog knocked my light out. I'm sorry we have a mop avatar. Tuesday nights are weird and different.
Wow.
We're going to let Kate fix that.
Hey, Sean, I got a quick question for you. Where does the story go when you have that following Monday with The Rock laying on the ground looking up at the stars? Like, what do we do next? Do we just forget about him and he goes back to the board? And Roman continues his reign?
Well, I probably will post a tweet that says LOL Roman wins at that point. I'll probably have made a few memes myself.
Sure.
And from that, beyond that, I don't really know where the hell the story goes. I don't know. I'm blindsided by this. I didn't think they would do anything. Even when we saw that picture of a guy that was working out that looked more like Wayne the Block Thompson
yes,
at that Birmingham gym today. Boy, if that wasn't a coordinated thing, I don't know what was. Yeah, The Rock is just going to roll into Crunch Fitness in Birmingham. Hey, guys, can I use the hydro massage? Okay. I'd like to use tanning bed 3, he says.
It doesn't matter. You have a lunk alarm. I love it.
Oh my God.
No pictures, please, unless you take a really blurry one. Was about your memes Cody mentioned in the post. Yeah, I sent him the Nancy Kerrigan meme, and I meant it.
There was a lead pipe tonight. It was not in his hand. It did not take the Rock out.
Obviously, our hosts are getting paid incredibly well tonight. You guys will be, and Luis will be reimbursed accordingly. Bad Robot says Cody Roman at Chamber would be a bummer for Rhea. She deserves to main event that. That's also a good point.
Yes.
Either my super chat 10 minutes in got missed or you guys made bank tonight. Oh, buddy, it is the latter. It didn't get missed, my friend. And yeah, Rhea does deserve to main event Elimination Chamber. However, unfortunately, what we are learning is what somebody deserves doesn't mean shit anymore. Never did. That's the way this usually works. Man.
You want me to drive for a little bit?
Yeah.
We appreciate all the support, guys, by the way. This is not complaints.
great.
We are just in the weeds here with Shabugan again saying, Cody, it's time to finish the story. Not the story that you've been telling for 2 years, but a completely new story. And we've just started it right now. Yeah, it all feels like pity party stuff. Brandon saying Seth should have brought that Roman got SmackDown $1 billion Fox deal that is not getting renewed, with Seth getting a $5 billion Netflix deal. That's kind of a fun thing. I didn't think about that, honestly. Never Williams saying, doesn't this show Okada how easy it is that he too can be pushed aside?
Oh my God.
Look how they treated the top face. There's a lot of reasons that I feel like Okada might not be ending up in WWE, certainly not NXT, but it does feel like a referendum on if you're a top star coming in, you very easily could be cast aside, even if you do the work for 2 years, and half a year before that, you're rehabbing from injury.
Hey, how have we not mentioned this? It is Groundhog Day.
It is.
How the hell have we not mentioned this?
Not
this
by the time this show is over, buddy.
Yeah. We got weeks of winter coming up ahead. Agent Joe saying the decision that doesn't bode well for Triple H to be a back-to-back Booker of the Year award winner, the Fightful Awards, more successfully done than this episode of SmackDown tonight. Sean did a great job hosting. I'm not just saying that because he's my boss. He genuinely did. But a really fun and celebratory and even playing field this year with the awards. Would recommend going out and watching that. And definitely, please support our sponsors that helped out with that show as well. Have The Rock be Cody's Mike Tyson at WrestleMania. It's so simple. Additionally, have Seth defend against Drew and Sami in a triple threat. High fives all around. I would be like, high fives to everybody. I would absolutely be in on that. I just realized this makes Cody's post-Rumble presser feel really tragic. We've been getting a couple of those and full on agree. Rob Wilkins, who probably doesn't need to be sending in a super chat, said, Sean, I got it. You go to Vegas for Super Bowl Media Day and ask Kelsey if he thinks Cody should finish the story and then stay for the press events. I think Jeremy Lambert would throw a fit if you weren't asking Taylor Swift any questions as well. Patrick Doyle saying, this booking stuff ain't easy, you know. Triple H. Of course, at the DX reunion a couple of years ago. CM88 saying, if that was when they screwed Becky over, speaking of screwing over main eventers, especially the women. If they have Cody beat Roman at Elimination Chamber, then pivot into Cody Randy at WrestleMania, I will be less likely to burn down my house. They won't, and I will. Well, we don't want you to burn it down Seth Rollins style, but that would be better creative, but it just feels like Cody Roman at WrestleMania was the move, but I understand what you're saying. If Cody has the title going into Mania, that feels a little bit better. Ace Steel, I'm just assuming it is, but Ace Steel saying, honest question. Chances
he works for us now, apparently.
Evidently. We have Ian R here. I just always decide that's Ian Riccaboni as well. But Ace Steel saying, honest question. Chances of The Rock winning and then dropping it at MSG to Cody. Man, that feels unsatisfactory to me. Do you have a percentage you want to put on that? Is it higher than
no.
a hell no percentage? JJ Montgomery, did Cody resign? Oh, resign, I think that's supposed to be, or not. If so, you think that this doesn't help, right? Can't believe he would feel great about a spot right now. Does kind of feel like they knew this was the plan and that they wanted to lock down Cody longer term because they knew they were going to screw him over again.
I don't know. I don't know when they decided this would be the plan or anything like that. I've heard a little bit about maybe when it was relayed to him, but I'm going to verify that. Guys, by the way, please leave a thumbs up on this. We got like 2,500 or 2,700 people watching and like 300 thumbs up. Please leave us a thumbs up. It goes a long way.
Thank you for everyone as well for the super and humpers.
Yes. Boxcar Racer saying, are we expecting Io Bayley to headline night one? I don't think any of the women's matches are, unfortunately.
So sad.
There's Green Bubbles SRS. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means.
Liberty Rhodes ends Roman's title reign in 20 years. The Rock got on the board and changed the story. Yeah, The Rock said, yeah, you know what? I want to face Roman Reigns night 2 winner gets even more paid time off. Unlimited
Ooh.
PTO.
I love that for them.
Oh boy.
Love that for them. Diving back in here. Connor Cunningham, very supportive to us tonight. Thank you so much. Says, I really hope the crowd turns very strongly and just boos The Rock relentlessly and makes this really uncomfortable for WWE. Just boo the whole main event. All you hear is booing. Man, oh man, we got a lot from you guys. Thank you so much. Shibugan saying Cody pointed at Roman after Rumble and clearly said The Rock is going to get you, buddy. That makes the actual ending of Royal Rumble even weirder. Lorenzo, oh, I'm sorry, we skipped one. The Custodian Lexus King saying Cody versus Roman doesn't need the title. The story can be finished. Let Big Road Dog pass Bruno's record. Boring. This last year was boring enough. God. Cody defeats Roman at Chamber. Cody versus Gunther at Mania with both titles on the line. I think Cody versus Gunther you could sell me on very, very easily. Robin saying that the thing is Rock has kind of been taking a lot of L's in the public eye for a while. Nah, that guy, I don't think in WWE world he's taken any L's that account with the rest of the PR disasters that they have going on right now. Rob Zilla saying, I'm calling it now. It's not about beating Hogan or Bruno's title. Roman beats Moolah's title tenure. I'm nervous he's just going to vacate, to be honest. Like, it's starting to feel that way. Alec Rome saying, said to a friend, they have so many options this Mania. There's no way they screw this one up. And then Pete Carroll throws it on the 1 yard line. Amazing reference and perfect. No notes. Last Ride saying, if SummerSlam is in Cleveland, I'll be going. But the possibility of getting Roman Cody, I'd rather have it at Mania for Cody's crowning moment. It's freaking Mania, people. Drew, loved your work with Punker. Why don't you give Dwayne a visit, says X. Well, thank you for speaking on behalf of the entire app. Jaden says, so now the top babyface heavyweight champion and Money in the Bank holder all look like idiots. Incredible. They did do a lot of work that seemed to undercut the entire picture tonight. You guys are awesome. We've got so many more chats, working through them. Erwin Guevara saying, bet you can draw a straight line from The Rock's failed attempt to take over DC comic movies to him taking Cody's Mania spot.
Wow.
Ouch. Yeah. Below the belt for Dwayne. Yeah. I just didn't like the booking, but they're going after his movies. Like The Tooth Fairy isn't a classic. Cody Redden, I'm sorry to all Codys today, saying, could we swerve of some sort at the press conference on Thursday and somehow we get Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania? Somehow there's always possibilities, right, Sean?
I hope there's some sort of swerve. I'm tired, man. I'm tired, boss.
I get it. Well, we're working through some of these chats. You guys have been great to us. Shibugan again saying, the last time that The Rock wrestled, he got blown up squashing Wyatt family members. Does anyone think this match is going to be a total disaster? Yep, I'm one of those people.
I'm very fearful that it's going to be a total disaster.
I think he brings a blowtorch.
Fearful.
That would be, if you bring a blowtorch, I'm probably in. But Ace of Hearts saying both times that The Rock and Roman have been in the same ring, I've hated it. Same reason to hope Philly boos them again. I hear you.
By the way, Philly has that type of fan base. You'll see batteries flying and a lot of booing.
Boy, howdy will you. This gives wrong Rumble winner vibes for me. Was Cody actually supposed to win the Rumble? If he was, that promo makes him look really weak. You had kind of confirmed that already, right? That there was supposed to be there was no audible in that, even though Punk got injured.
Yeah, there was no audible.
Sean, are the NXT call-ups done? Hey! Something about not this. Yes. Part of me thinks Roxanne comes up and loses tomorrow, and I'm starting to suspect Rhea isn't facing Becky at Mania.
I don't know about the latter, but I was told there's going to be steady streams. It's not going to be a concentrated specific time about call-ups. But I mean, they called up Elektra. They brought back Angel and Humberto. Yeah. They got Tiffany. They got Braun. They brought up a ton of people all at once. So I mean, it seems like that isn't true. I think there's going to be more of a decent like peppering in of them. Here and there, though.
Sean, we're on a roll 2 in a row. Not about this. Jonathan Corona, off topic. How about TNA NXT crossover? or do a PLE together. We did see Jordan Grace, which was a highlight of Royal Rumble. She was in the video package at the beginning of this episode of SmackDown. Anything fun you got cooking over there with the TNA representation on WWE?
Yeah, I've been asking around about it. I have been, and I just hate that so many other things have caused stuff like that to take a back seat.
Sure. Ian Riccaboni saying, since we are fantasy booking, can I be on commentary? If it was up to me, Ian Riccaboni, you'd be on commentary for pretty much everything. Thunder Sky Dancer saying, I think the audience was upset, but didn't want to boo The Rock. It was a little bit of a weird energy, but The Rock is The Rock, and he got cheered.
Sounded
Mania attendee won't sell ticket, but feel deflated. Do you think those in attendance hijacked the match with Cody Chance? Remember Rumble 15? I was at Rumble, whatever it was, with Danielson. Was that Rumble 15? I'm terrible at the numbers game. But when it wasn't Danielson, I was there, and it was the same place. It was also in Philly, and man,
yeah,
that is a tough crowd. I would not be surprised about that.
Remember, Philly booed the hell out of Roman, and that was the one place that booed The Rock. When The Rock came to hold his hand up, and they'll probably show this on TV. They probably stole this idea from me already.
There you go. Tim Weinbarger says, don't know what all the hate is for. Oh my God, a positive one. Seems like every time The Rock and Roman are in the ring, the fans seem to hate it. See Royal Rumble 2015.
Well, that's a pretty good indicator then, huh?
Yeah. It's almost like they had this little sample size that they could have gone off of.
It's almost like they shouldn't fucking do it.
Daniel Valentine, if Cody versus Roman happens in Perth, will you come to Australia, Sean Ross Sapp? You can stay in our Airbnb with us.
Listen, I would love to. I would love nothing more than to get to meet Anna Bauert and hang out with her. But she made the mistake of telling me she would do media, so now I don't have to.
Also, like, let's just be real here, Sean. You're not going to where Shaza McKenzie is from, of all places. I mean, my God.
No, absolutely not.
Josh says, with the press conference and now this BS, all the goodwill Triple H has cultivated in the last 2 years has been eradicated. God, this sucks. We are at the beginning of that story, too, unfortunately. I think we're going to see some ugly stuff emerging over the next couple of weeks and months. Jake Neal saying, yeah, that Blue Chew transition. We back in the dark ages, baby. I pride myself on my segues, but I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't on air with the master right now. Cody should earn Mad Clout backstage and beat Cody versus Roman down the line. He simply has to say, you couldn't even finish the goddamn story yourself, son. Yeah, there's, to me, 3 issues. 1 is last year's booking. 2 is not doing the match. And 3 is the segment that it was wrapped up in tonight. Just really poorly done. Team Henderson saying, I'm sick and tired of seeing the title on Roman. And honestly, Cody is the damn face of the company. WWE can't finish the damn story. Please let it be a work. Awful. Just unhappy today. Linkin Park in the end, Cody's new theme. Like, the one thing in wrestling that we can be sure of is that Cody's theme probably ain't going anywhere. Kenneth Smith saying, have some money. Thanks for the monies. We'll always take your money unless you're
throw it at me.
Piece of shit. James Zimmerman saying, I want to take a moment here to say this. Swerve's going to finish his story this year.
That's crazy.
I think it's very possible Swerve finishes it sooner rather than later. And I think he hands it off to Will Ospreay at All In. That's my hope for those stories. I'm scanning to see if there's anything Sean specific. I might be able to let you go out of here.
Well, this one's an easy one. Winner gets a star, and Black Adam too. I think the loser would have to star. I think that's the direction we go there.
They lacked time to rethink the Rumble winner. They stuck with Rhodes' story. They pivoted due to Vince's stuff. Classic distraction technique. I keep going back to the fact that Cody is a PR gem. Like, he sounds so human in everything that you do with him public relations wise. He's out there with a ton of goodwill. He's giving, like, what was it? The troop shows. There was a guy who was promised a dog tag and didn't get it years ago. He's like, I got you, buddy.
Yeah.
he's what you want in PR, because not only is he great, like he sounds like a human being, and he's saying, I live in India. I bought tickets to Philly, $1,500 US, to watch Cody finish the story in the home of my Eagles and catch up with friends. This now. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I hope the rest of that, if not this story, is great for you, because WrestleMania just going is a really fun experience if you haven't had a chance to go before. Did you see Liv's promo? Maybe she's changed. You know, I like Liv in a tag role, so I'd be interested to see if she works her way back. But any thoughts on what we do with a returning Liv Morgan, Sean?
See where she lands as far as the audience, but I mean, we could do like a 3-on-3 with Damage CTRL, because I mean, she is pretty over. I think that you got to see how crowds react to her upon her return, which seemed pretty good at the Royal Rumble, right? Seemed pretty good.
People recognized her theme.
I want to address this before we go. Please don't send him any memes, Sean. I already sent him the same meme tonight.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not kidding you. 100%. I'm not lying. Hold on one second.
Hey, Sean, real quick, while you look for that, do you think that this was something that was planned, or was it just thrown together today?
I sent him the same one.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was with the text that said, do it. Do the right thing.
A rubber chicken is the last thing you got to look out for now.
At this point, the rubber chicken should get the cover of 2K.
Wow.
The rubber chicken.
I forgot all about that.
Should get a title shot.
Do you think your Reds are going to be good this year? I ask because I respect your loyalty to your team. If you would ask Colin, Spencer Steer fan on Twitter, I'm not too loyal to my team. I want them to be sold. But I do think they're going to be good. The trade to get Corbin the hell out of Milwaukee and into Baltimore, you're welcome, Kate, helps us out a lot. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think the Reds will be pretty good. They made a lot of good additions. And my IRL BFF, Corey Cropper, says late to the stream, but is this WWE wanting more so to take that title reign record from Hogan and put it on someone that has zero baggage like Roman? I mean, zero baggage when they're the reason I'm depressed. How are they going to live with that baggage? How are they going to live with that? How are they going to live with that, Corey?
I think that's also something that might be a happy side effect of certain booking, and rather than like the motivator for that type of booking, right?
Yeah.
They changed Humberto to Berto officially.
Did they officially?
I guess
it was internal.
Really? Because he was called Humberto in Rome called Austin called him Humberto in the ring.
I mean, this booking and messing around with names doesn't feel like we're not in the Vince anymore.
What is happening?
Invader Sonic says, you asked, how does Cody get a title shot at SummerSlam, Money in the Bank? And then how does The Rock... to that I say, how does The Rock get a shot at Mania? Well, he's the biggest star in the world. But I will say, I also don't think it's good to have Cody dominating so many different, like, overarching stories to just the title. Like, eventually you have to have him win it and have that pay off. Like, he can't just win a device every time you need him to. Ryan Cicchini saying, I think Cody rethinks, and in a promo, he's going to be selfish and take on Roman and not.
It's wild to tease this, though. That's the thing. Like, it's wild to tease this and then course correct type of thing. Because then I don't know. I'll wrap up by saying this. 25,000 people have voted on the poll on my Twitter.
Oh boy.
The Rock versus Roman Reigns, 19.5%. Quite literally, 80.5% of your audience is voting and saying we prefer Cody Rhodes versus Roman. Right now, I'm told 64% of the people on the YouTube clip of that dislike it, dislike the segment on YouTube. That's insane, man.
And those are
Insane.
numbers that they look at. And yeah, I feel like that segment is a problem. That segment is a problem because it made it look like Cody didn't choose Seth. Cody set up Rock, Roman, and Roman said it's a secondary title. And Cody said, you bet it is, and I want it anyway. Here's some money for you on the way out, Sean. 8 Young Nasty Man.
Thanks.
8 says $5 for
Thanks. Guys, I'll wrap this up by plugging Fightful Select. Obviously, I'm going to work on something about this. I'm going to do everything that I can. I'm going to talk to who I can. I'm hoping tomorrow afternoon, I'll have something on Fightful Select about what I've heard. I don't know if that will be a satisfactory answer, but I will absolutely work and get whatever it is I can up on FightfulSelect.com. It's just $5 a month. I know an awful lot of you have given an awful lot of money tonight, so I'm not going to push that too hard. But we do exclusive wrestling news with the highest accuracy that has ever existed in wrestling news. And we do over 40 podcasts a month over there. Additional reviews. Maybe after this, you're really pissed. Well, I'm going to scoot over to Alex Sour Graps for about 2.5 minutes. And
is he still on? Oh, God.
If he's still on, let me see. I'm going to see if he's still on first.
He was here in the chat earlier.
He's not. I was about to. But if you're extra pissed, go do that. Oh, he only did. You know how I know he's mad? He only did 55 minutes. That's how we really know he's mad.
That's really bad. So one thing I love about Alex is he has said he'll get preemptively mad so that when WWE follows through with something he doesn't like, he can handle it. When something is this out of nowhere, I don't even think he can compute it. So
there you go. Guys, I will be at Fightful Select. Once WrestleMania rolls around, I'll be on Twitter much less. I'll be on Fightful Select interacting with you guys much more. We've considered doing Discord, a lot of stuff like that. But guys, thank you all so much. I will chat at you all later. Keep these super chats rolling in for our friends Kate and Alexis. Thank you guys.
Thanks, brother.
Sure. Thank you to Sean. And thank you guys for sticking with us so much. You can keep those super chats coming in. We actually have a lot more to get through because we didn't even get to the Humper chats yet. We're so appreciative of all of the support that you guys have had. We are going to also talk about the rest of SmackDown at some point in here, but let's work through some more of these and then we will rock and roll. We got one here saying that Cody booked himself out of winning an AEW championship and now can't get the WWE championship. Does feel like there's like a little bit of a Cody curse coming on. Maybe it is that rubber chicken. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, we've got more company. Hi, Alex.
Everybody thought I was going to be mad about this. I have been team Cody's downfall for like a year, more than that. But no, seriously, I wouldn't wish this on Cody. This was so sad.
We're gonna
take that title from you, but not now. Here's the guy who is gonna take it from you.
Here love
it comes.
Getting into your fantasy booking brain. So we're gonna get back to your super chats in a second, but I'm actually so glad that you popped on here. What? And I cannot stress this enough. The fuck are they doing, Alex? Make it make sense for me. Give me what you're doing here. Do you think we're getting Cody at Elimination Chamber? Do you think we're getting Cody at SummerSlam or Survivor Series after? Who the hell dethrones Roman? What are your thoughts on this?
I think there is, and it would suck. I think there is a small chance they actually have Rock do it and then vacate the title. And then Cody wins whatever tournament or whatever they have to actually crown the new champion. I think there is a small chance they do that. But if The Rock loses to Roman's not losing the title until he passes Hulk Hogan, which happens in late September. And at that point, we're not going to have him lose the title in like a pay-per-view in October. There's a Saudi show, I think, in November. So maybe they have Cody beat The Rock in Saudi, which would be terrible. but he's not losing to him in December. He's not losing to him in Royal Rumble or February, wherever the Elimination Chamber is next year. It's not the Elimination Chamber because it's not going to be in Australia.
And it's not in Montreal, so it's not going to be Elimination Chamber.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If The Rock loses to Roman, Roman is keeping it until WrestleMania next year. And at that point, they might be like, let's just keep it on him until Bruno. Here's the deal. I said to I wasn't honestly that surprised by it. I wasn't. I thought they would do it in a different way, because I did not anticipate Cody being like, here he is, a better man than I, The Rock. I did not think they'd do that. But listen. I think it is inarguable that this sucks, but it is, according to somebody like Nick Khan, smart business. Deflect, distract. The biggest story this weekend they're trying to make be The Rock, huge movie star, former wrestler, coming to face Roman Reigns, the champion who can't be beat, his own cousin, in the main event of WrestleMania. That is the top story for WWE this weekend, and not Vince McMahon under federal investigation. That is the literal point of this. Okay. Now, did I think they'd be so ham-fisted to get to it the way that they did? No, but am I surprised that was the tactic they used here? No, of course not. That's just that's to them is the way that we can't answer PR questions here. So what we're going to do is be like, shiny jingling keys in front of a baby. That's literally what they are. And if you hear the response in Birmingham, it friggin' worked on those babies. All those babies in the audience were like, yay! So that's what it worked. It worked out.
Correct.
We're going to get to your super chats and humper chats. At some point, we're also going to talk about the rest of SmackDown. But before we do, I wanted to ask you to leave a thumbs up on this video. We so appreciate the influx of support that we had tonight. If you're joining us now, Sean was on here answering questions before. He took a break. He came back. He's going to have more for you on FightfulSelect.com. And speaking of FightfulSelect.com, not only do we want to remind you to subscribe there for the latest and greatest scoops, the highest accuracy, the highest volume of wrestling news in the game, but I did always want to emphasize that anything to do with the Vince McMahon story, a lot of times injury-related things, that goes on our free tier at Fightful Select, which a lot of people I found out recently didn't know that we have. You should be a subscriber to access the story, but it is free. There are certain things when they're as sensitive as this that we don't want to paywall. So the Vince updates will be there. Sometimes there's supplementary details behind the paywall, but anything that feels like important information to convey about something that is so much bigger than wrestling on every level, we do, in fact, put on the free tier. So let's get back to some super chats and your humper chats. Thank you so much. Thank you to Louise, our moderator tonight, who is keeping everything straight for us. Hello, Shabugan, saying the problem is that the distraction only works until the new awful facts drop about Vince, which, given the way it's gone so far, seems pretty likely. Now, that is the thing. I feel like this story is going to go on well past WrestleMania, and I think the shiny newness of The Rock is going to wear off very quickly, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, because the gravity should be on the other story, but unfortunate for the play that they're trying to make. And I also think, whilst we are savvy to the world of wrestling, we're not like rocket scientist geniuses about it. I don't think it's something that people can't see through as being an incredibly obvious ploy to people that are following the product. Maybe people on the peripheral, but we see what you're doing over there. Christian Schuyler saying fantasy booking. Cody wins the title at Elimination Chamber. Roman versus Rock. Seth versus Sammy versus Drew. And a shocker one, Cody versus Okada. Curveballs being thrown. I don't think Okada's going WWE based on what he said his priorities are. I think if he has a chance to work with a promotion that still has a relationship with New Japan, he will. If he has a chance to work closer to once a week, he will. But I like your booking better than what they gave us tonight. Cody said, I'm a Rock fan. I don't think he's the type that would come in and meddle with a story that's been being told for over the past 2 years. Holy heck. I forgot about that quote.
You learn. Cody Rhodes.
Cody also said he loves to lie, so there you go. Maybe he hates the guy.
That's true.
Do you think this dropped on? This was a last minute thing today?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
No idea.
Between Monday and today, I believe.
Like I want to, you know.
I'm
tempted to ask someone because this is weird.
We're gonna do Cody versus Seth, which it feels like the plan is that now. You have Cody in the moment say to Seth, "Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it."
So weird, man.
As opposed to like, I'll think about it, and while thinking about it, I'm going to let this man finish my story for me.
It's just so weird.
If you finish your story too soon, BlueChew.com, code FIGHTFUL. But Ian McGowan saying maybe they were always going to do Rock Roman and it was going to be Seth Punk Cody triple threat night 1. I can't imagine they put this all together. Man, it's very tough to call because they've been going after Cody for a contract extension that is not currently signed for a little bit. Seth's promo felt like they were planning out something really great. Cody and Punk both have reasons to go after after Seth's title. You could do Cody versus Gunther, and that would make sense. There's also a differential between sometimes what they plan and when talent finds out so that people don't leak stuff, which makes sense. So I don't know if we're ever going to know. And I don't even buy that was always the plan last year. Will saying that I'm not trying to be funny, but how will the 62-year-old Rock not tear everything in his body? Ask 45-year-old Cody CM Punk. I don't know, man. Like I keep going back to the Rock versus Cena 2 was like 12 years ago, and that was bad then. He looked bad doing the people's elbow and throwing 4 punches a week ago. He has time to get in ring shape, but is he going to do it? Does he really have time? Because is he actually working on a movie? Who the hell knows? I would rather see people that can wrestle.
I think people confuse being humongous with being in shape. No, you're just working muscles, you know, so they're growing and getting bigger. But that his cardio, everything else is, you can take that man down if you just run around him fast enough.
Sure, yeah, just bring around the Rosie about it.
That's it.
Clearly done to get people to stop talking about Vince.
Sure.
TKO called an audible to divert attention. Only explanation. Well, sometimes bad booking is the explanation there too, but that certainly sounds like a possibility. Now, Kate, you know Triple H loves his 4-pack. He didn't in NXT all the time. Still like the match, though. I don't remember what that was in reference to because we've been doing this for 2 hours, so I apologize. Jordan Scott saying, so Cody not finishing the story until WWE 2K25.
Oh,
Does that mean he now has to three-peat Rumble or win Money in the Bank to get there?
Can you imagine that? Oh, man.
I don't think he's going after Roman a third year. I don't think he is.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him win the Money in the Bank, though.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. It just feels like, how many devices is Cody going to have to win to get title shots?
I know.
Patrick Doyle saying, gotta see how my cousin feels, but I want to sell my Mania tickets. We've been getting a lot of this.
Wow.
Today. A lot of people that want to sell their tickets. We bought after Cody won the Rumble. It's so weird because we saw with Bayley earlier, it really feels like they're like, we're giving you what you want. And then this feels like the opposite of that. X saying, the fuck is even the point of following the Cody story for 2 years if the stupid cast up from walking down the ramp Hollywood man is just going to waltz in. Alex, did you send that in before you hopped on stream?
I didn't.
He did call it the Hollywood title, and look what's happening. That's crazy. I mean, it's all lining up.
Yeah.
I see it. Next time, just tell Luis, man. You don't have to do that. My charger came out of the thing, so
and there goes the computer.
No, we're good. We're happening.
At this point, I'm gonna go make myself a second dinner.
You're more than
here. Continue
listen.
talking, baby. Let's go.
More than
I love
welcome
this.
to Ring Around the Rocky.
Rocky.
That's how you win. You just gas him out by playing Ring Around the Rocky. Chris Pereira saying, Rock is on my personal Mount Rushmore, and tonight was the first time ever I didn't pop when his music hit. You know, it's both. I think that people are a little maybe beat up on nostalgia, but more so the way that the nostalgia is being brought in. We had people fantasy booking, well, why wouldn't The Rock just be in Cody's corner? And he could equalize the bloodline on the outside, and that sets up Rock and Roman at SummerSlam or Saudi. Like, there are ways around this, but screwing over younger talent for The Rock or for other alumni like this is the WWE way. Connor Cunningham saying, I'm going to start a chant at SmackDown next week. We want Cody, not The Rock. You're going to have to find like the flow for that. But I have confidence. This is the most Alex Pulaski has ever felt seen, I think. This is like everybody is on your side with this. Even though you were like anti-Cody, like the preemptive anger about something that hasn't happened yet.
That's the thing, is that like I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I was going to be shocked if The Rock didn't come out during the segment with him and Cody, but I did not think it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
Like, The Rock will be the special guest referee.
Yeah.
Something. But now that I think about it, the business part of it, okay, here we go. Dwayne sent CM Punk a tweet in 2011, which reads, CM Punk, it's simple business. The Rock is the main event at WrestleMania because it draws more money in one night than you will in a lifetime.
Oh, Jesus. There it is. Insert
just,
that.
We're just 13 years down the road and doing it all over again. And this is I've been anti retired guys who are coming back, anti part-timers.
Same.
From day one, I've been like, no, let's not do it.
Same.
This is a thing. I think we all, when The Rock came out and projected his patriotic bona fides against a Canadian man who speaks Punjabi on New Year's Day, we were all like, oh, sorry, Cody, looks like you're not going to get the main event. But then they had him win the Royal Rumble for the second year in a row. And everyone was like, well, I guess he does. I guess he does get his main event. I guess he doesn't finish the story. And then not even a week later, they were like, just kidding. Like, that's horrible. Like, that's just, I mean, I thought we were going to have Dwayne come in at 30 and win the Royal Rumble and pick Roman. That would have been a bad choice, but at least it would have made sense with the booking you've done.
It just made so much sense where there was no nostalgic acts in the Rumble. If they had this in their back pocket for this long, they must have said, hey, just push everyone that we can at the Rumble because this is happening. If that's what they were thinking.
It's really weird. It's really weird to set someone up to punish them. But anyway, I hope Mustafa Ali is having a good Friday night. Abnormally Lilith says the only way that I see this working is if they bring back Starrcade somewhere after me.
They do it during Christmas.
What inning are we in again?
This is ridiculous.
Lord, I don't even know if they know anymore. Daryl saying, how you say Cody the guy, but then go with The Rock at Mania. He would never answer Vince's question. To me, Rock versus Roman is the Vince Dream Mania match. I get the feeling you have to do it now or never. What I don't get is why you have to do it for the title and why you booked Cody the past year the way you did if this was what you were going to do to him.
Right.
What happens first? Cody finishing his story or the Half-Life 3 gets released? Genuinely hysterical that Sting is going to win a title before Cody Rhodes.
The Last of Us 3.
Not funny, haha. Funny. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Funny. Ring Talk HQ saying, hear me out. Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania 40. Roman retains. Now what? Cody cries. Cody cries in a corner somewhere. Jordan Scott, second NOI member Cody brings to cause people issues.
First it was Jay, now it's Rock.
Josh Tomlin saying, Alex, if it was going to be Seth Cody, you don't have Cody point at Roman after winning the damn Rumble. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier.
It was going to be Cody Roman at the Rumble, and then Punk got hurt, and then they were like, we're panicking. We don't know what to do now because we got things we have planned for people. Seth's hurt. Punk's hurt. Punk can't do Mania. Seth's going to do Mania hurt. Let's run. I did think this. Let's run a story where Cody is considering Seth's offer, and then on Monday he'll tell him no, and then between Monday and this, they were like, we got to do Rock versus, we got to do Rock versus, we got to get it done. We got to get it done, and they did it, and they just figured out a way to like have Cody willingly step aside, which is the craziest part of it for me.
Small silver lining in this. How about Seth Rollins on Monday making this fucking work? Seth Rollins promo really, you had messaged me, Alex, while I was on vacation, and you were like, he actually laid out a really compelling case. And I was like, no way. But you were right. Good job on him. Steven saying all of this chaos is because Drew McIntyre went batshit and injured Punk. We don't do that. We're not going to sit here and say who injured who in a world of wrestling, but I'll say this: Drew dining out on being just the biggest hater in the game, giving Nigel McGuinness a run for his money is pretty great.
I want to see Drew McIntyre's tweets about Cody not finishing the story.
Oh, they're going to be
because he's just all
hang them in the Louvre. I'm telling you. Elite Biscuit saying, is Seth going to beat Cody? Because do you really want Seth going 0-4 against Cody? That's tough too. But there's a compelling story there of Seth is the one with the title, even though Cody has all those wins. And you can play with losses if you do it the right way of this guy just has my number. You have to have Seth beat him down the line.
Meaningful losses,
Meaningful losses, but my thing is they're both faces. So that's kind of a tough one.
You can't have Cody face Seth and lose. Can't.
Correct. Yeah, no, that would be one guy comes out pathetic. One guy comes out as, darn it, that guy has my number after a really long, successful title reign. If they were going to do Cody versus Seth, Cody acts differently after winning Rumble, and at the presser, this was clearly an audible.
For sure. But between the Rumble and Monday, there was an audible because Punk got hurt. Between Monday and today, there was an audible because they were like, we got to do Rock versus Roman. We got to get that done because deflect.
Yes,
Sure.
Correct. I think that's the way it's going.
The fact that the creative is so awful here makes me think this is a reaction to the federal investigation. Civil is one thing, criminal is another.
Yeah.
Also, there were a lot of people, I was certainly one of them, that certainly felt like the way Triple H in particular handled things at the presser was an all-time horrific handling of events. Holy crap, you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We didn't even get to the Humper chats yet, and we didn't even get to the chats about the show. So we're going to get into all of those now. Thank you so much for your patience. We really appreciate it. Bad Robot, who's such a nice robot, realistically. Just the kindest Roomba we've ever had around here, saying, hello, favorite post show. So 2K changing that tagline now, huh? Also, Sean, the next year Fightful Awards, will there be an SRS drop toe hold move of the year award? Yes, and he wins it year after year. Because honestly, I haven't seen someone do one better. You got to control the wrist on that drop toe hold. Sean's is great.
They're not only changing the tagline for the new 2K, they're changing the cover.
I mean, it's just going to be The Rock, like
I like that one.
AI aged another 30 years. Because that's what that match is going to do.
This is the new cover right here.
It's hot.
I don't see it. Did you pull it up already?
You didn't see it? Yeah.
No, sorry. I was looking at the super chat document. Oh, perfect. It kind of feels like the rubber chicken is saying, whoa.
It does.
And then all the other ones are following suit.
That's right. Man, I'm really glad. Thanks, Pulaski, for pinch hitting for us. Me and Cardozo have been at this for for a while.
I was in my 40s when we first started this show. No,
I know. Now we're in our late 70s. Aaron Smith saying, will the story now finish at alt for SummerSlam or at MSG. Oh, in Atlanta, I think. Oh, we read that one already. We already got you on that one, but we appreciate the Aussies chiming in. I've made some new Aussie fans about wrestling of late, and I appreciate them. Do you have any ideas how this might impact Elimination Chamber? Could they have Cody beat Roman at Chamber instead? They could do whatever they wanted, but I don't think they will. I don't think they will, which is a shame.
Roman is not scheduled to wrestle again before Mania. They would have to do an audible and pay him a crap ton of money on top of his already, because his contract is for the appearances he already has. They'd have to end up paying him a whole bunch more money to have him to fly out to Australia. They should. Do I think they will? No.
Shout out to Mr. Too Funny for becoming a Twitch subscriber. We appreciate that. Brian Ciccini saying this has to be a ripple effect of Punk's injury. We kind of talked about that a little bit here.
This has to be their way to do crisis management.
They're trying. They're trying.
Like, I'm gonna have Scoops Cardoza is gonna do some scooping. I'm just letting everyone know. I haven't done it during the show because I don't want to be on my phone. So, but just know that tomorrow, Kate's gonna get a text from me. So
James Zimmerman saying, "Why do I watch WWE? They just keep breaking my heart." Heart emoji. It's tough, man. It's tough, and they do something so great. I felt like with Bayley on the show, and then nobody even wants to talk about it because we're all just sad for Cody. Alex Pulowski and I haven't even liked Cody's creative over the past year, and we didn't even like his creative really going into the Roman match, except for a couple of good promos that were there, but we were both Team Sammy, and we still feel like, but as the person, how do you keep doing this to this guy?
Sure.
Brutal stuff. Meet Norma saying this feels like being invited to an all-you-can-eat meat buffet, and they serve you beets and cauliflower, 0 stars in the Tokyo Dome. I'm a vegan, and I wouldn't even do that to you, Meet Norma, so I have too much respect. A small snippets asked this a while ago, but can we get Alex and Jensen on Sour Graps tonight? I think Jensen is probably too apoplectic to be doing any public appearances right now. I'm so sad for that guy. Yeah, we've got a couple of these, but my God, I don't know how Luis has even kept up with any of this. But Cody should have borrowed Bayley's lead pipe. That was a fun one. I said that should have come from Riho. And Riho's lead pipe. Sorry, my dog just unplugged my computer.
Good.
Jordan Scott pointing out this is dumb. What if Seth isn't cleared by Mania? I truly believe he will be, but all it takes is one setback, and man, are you in dangerous territory. Vincent saying that nobody will convince me this was the plan before Punk got hurt. My interest in Mania has been severely degraded. Get ready for Roman to be champ until Mania 41, buddy. That's a more real concern than it was a week ago. Rock whispered into Cody's ear, could this have also been Cody's decision or that he was a part of the decision? I think we got through that too. Let's talk about the show a little bit, and we'll let Luis continue to clean some of these up. We had gotten through the first half, and we get to Bayley and Damage Control. Bayley should be the main event of all events, Luis says. Jared saying it looks like Rhea and Becky and Bayley versus Io will carry WrestleMania for me and many others. Women picking up the slack as usual. Well, you saw Sean bail early, and I'm still here, right? That is accurate, but let's dive into this because this to me was the highlight of the night, and I really appreciated that. Oh my God, we had a smart baby face.
Yeah.
Crowd is chanting for Bayley. Bayley says that this year is different heading into Mania. This year is special. Bayley says before she didn't get anywhere when she had this kind of support. Calls Damage Control the best women's faction of all time. And she says she thinks about Mania. She thinks about moments and magic. She says she hosted the damn thing. But Bayley says that to be the best, she has to beat the best. And that brings her to Rhea Ripley, who was watching on a monitor in the back. But then she says she could also go a different route because sometimes it's not about the title and it's more personal and comes down to what's in your heart. And she says that the people you thought were your friends, it stares at Damage Control. She speaks to Io Sky in Japanese, which I was able to translate. Thank you, Duolingo and Genki Text, to say what she said was, I understand. And I love that Bayley gets to be smart. She says she's done and she's seen it all and she wants to know why they constantly are talking about her. And then they, of course, finally turn on her. We've been brewing toward this for a while. They attack Bayley and you end with this really great shot of Bayley with her lead pipe and Kairi Sane with the title and the two of them just kind of staring at each other. I really appreciated how well that was done. And Bayley says, Io, I'll see you at WrestleMania. The crowd went nuts. I love that this was not only justified for how they got away from Rhea, but I adore that Bayley had seen this coming along with the rest of us. She got to be smart here. I like that she knew a little bit of Japanese. It makes sense that if all your friends speak a language, you might learn a word or two in the process. This was really, really well done. Before this, we had a stage with Damage Control, and they were speaking Japanese backstage. And I know Alex Pulowski was Alex Stradamus on this and said, wouldn't it be cool if Bayley knew Japanese and saw all this coming? Kind of weird that they tempered the reveal of it with one English statement when it was between the three women that speak Japanese. But overall, very, very cool that Bayley was smart, that she was ahead of that, and that this was the perfect way to get her out of the Rhea angle. I really thought they did a great job with that. Her declaring this early makes sense. You can have a lot of things happen between now and Mania as far as the breaking up of those friendships. We still don't know where Dakota Kai lands in all of this, which is interesting. Pulaski, I'm going to throw it to you first, and then for the first time in like 2.5 hours, Cardozo's going to get a thought in edgewise here, but what did you think of this segment? Because you and I had talked about having concerns about how you get from point A to point C realistically in this.
Yeah, as usual, they can't do anything perfect. They get so close sometimes. Just have them saying all of this stuff in the locker room in Japanese. It makes no sense for your three Japanese villains to be talking to each other in Japanese and then have the head villain say one sentence in English. Tonight, Bayley is done. And then leave laughing. And then Bayley puts her head around the corner and why would you say the one thing in English that can incriminate you? If she says all of it in Japanese, then you have Bayley like come out and speak to her in Japanese. Said, heard what you said about me back there. I've been hearing what you've been saying about me. You really think that I'd spend all this time with my friends who speak Japanese and not pick it up a little bit along the way? Yeah, I know you'd be talking about me. So I that was perfect. But they did like 85% of the perfect, so I got to give them credit for that. I honestly didn't even think they were going to get that far. But I love her being able to like knowing what they said, and they underestimated her by thinking she was going to be the woman, somebody who didn't care to think about learning Japanese along the way. I thought it was really good. It's her saying, I have to prove something to these people who've been doubting me for so long. And listen, I think it is maybe something they're never going to address. Bayley has won 3 matches in like a year and a half. 3. So yeah, I mean, and people doubting you have a reason to.
Sure.
And as we said at the time, all she had to do was win the title from Bianca for a month. And then Bianca wins it back, and then you finished out the rest of the Bianca reign. And then she would have that. But now it does feel like somebody who was a loser for a very long time is now getting her very just deserved moment in the sun at Mania. God bless her for trying to put a positive spin on hosting WrestleMania. While the Mania after she carried them both shows through the pandemic, and then highlight of her hosting Mania was getting kicked in the stomach and rolled down the ramp by the Bella Twins. So her trying to put a positive light on that. God bless her for trying.
Yes, she is always not only a workhorse, but like like not only was she showing up in that time during the pandemic, she was like the only entertaining thing because nobody knew what the hell was going on in pandemic wrestling.
Yep.
She's just done everything that she's been asked to do with such grace, and she's so selfless in and out of the ring, seemingly. I really, really hope that they just give her the title at Mania. She deserves it, and
she's gotta win.
She's gotta win it. And she's just the best. Give her Paramore, give her whatever she wants. She rules. Cardoza, your thoughts on what felt like the one good thing on the show tonight? Like that was really great.
Well, the second good thing that the Santos little promo was pretty dope as well. But
Electra Beck.
I'm a guy of visuals. Obviously, I work in the industry, and just the way that she sold going out there as a heel, you can tell she was really angry about stuff and how she wanted to go after Rhea, and then you can see it turning with what they were doing behind her. She was picking up on it, and then finally she made that turn. Soft-spoken Bayley came out, not the laughing really loud and being obnoxious. And she kind of faced them, and then she told them in Japanese and understood. That was awesome. I mean, that was played out perfect. I think what they're doing with Bayley now is going to be hot. I think, this is the summer of Bayley. Just saying.
I hope
putting it out there right now.
Nobody deserves it more than that young lady.
No, she did not get Cody'd.
She did not. I hope they don't do that to her at Mania. I will be very, 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 very sad. But here's hoping that she finishes her story against Io. Another really good thing on the show tonight was Tiffany Stratton and Michin. Tiffany Stratton is someone that Alex and I have gotten to see grow tremendously in her short amount of time in NXT. Like, she is kind of the standout, the follow-up to Bianca really breaking through as someone that was in like the NIL class, not a wrestler, especially on the women's side. When she came in, it felt like the gimmick was dead in the water. She was fine in the ring, but the gymnastics and the ring logic weren't necessarily lining up. She's worked her ass off to make the gimmick something that is a character now and not gimmicky, something that is translatable, something that feels like someone you've at least met. She's very funny. Her timing is great. And she has come so far in the ring as far as her selling goes, as far as in-ring psychology goes. Ironically, tonight, she kind of missed the prettiest moonsault ever, which when she lands it is a thing of beauty. She has incredible control from the top rope in most cases. Tonight, she just either got not enough of it or too much of it. It just felt a little bit off tonight, but happy to see her on the main roster for sure. She deserves the call up. A lot of these NXT people that Alex and I covering on Tuesday nights have been rooting for to get called up, at least if they're not fully transitioning or starting to make some appearances that they deserve and make the transition over there. Also loved in this Michin going for the eat defeat, but Tiffany countering with that Alabama slam for a nice near fall. Some good stuff in this, but happy for Tiffany Stratton. It always feels like our kids graduate, Pulowski, when someone moves up and it's the people that should be the creeds. For example, her. We're starting to see Carmelo Hayes break into the main roster for a little bit. I'll throw it over to you, and then Pulowski will get your thoughts. Or I'm sorry, Cardoza will get your thoughts on the match as well.
I love Tiffany. We talked about this in the chat on Sour Graps. Maybe Naomi gets her first match back the first night she's back, and Tiffany waits to debut next week. You obviously just 2 women's matches. What are we, crazy?
Oh, please.
Not possible, but you can't have them face each other because you want both of them to have their wins. So Naomi didn't get to talk. She just came out and showed off the contract and everybody clapped for her. Like, I thought Naomi was going to get like response thing, like I'm back, like something, but nothing. And I was like, that ain't great. But Tiffany Stratton on the main roster, I'm all for. And I'm trying to figure out what we do with. There's still a chance Bianca gets Rhea. Still, I think it's Becky. Rhea, I think we kind of there's like a 75% chance it's Becky. So, but you can't have Bianca off the card. So you got to do something with Bianca, but I think it should mean something. So I'd love a big multi-woman match, and the winner of that, bring in people from Raw and SmackDown, and the winner of that match on night 1 of Mania in the undercard gets to choose the title of their choice to have a title shot at it the week after Mania. And you could have Bianca versus Tiffany versus Naomi versus Jade versus Nia versus whatever. Like whatever the bigger people you have on their thing, they all get to have the big multi-woman match and they can all kill it. You know?
Agreed. I'm wondering if part of why Naomi wasn't on tonight's show was also, one, they didn't want her getting swallowed by The Rock, or two, maybe there's bloodline creative that she'll be getting folded into with her being married to an Oos. But we will see. Cardozo, your thoughts on Tiffany Stratton's debut? Are you familiar with her? Because I know you don't watch NXT with the same regularity.
I don't watch it religiously. I watch the pay-per-views, but from what I've seen so far in the clips and things online, I'm impressed by her athleticism, man. She's pretty badass. That moonsault off the top rope is really, really something else. Kind of, reminds me of Julia Hart's moonsault. Just like these two women are so damn good when they just jump off the top rope like that. She's a big girl, man. She looks like she can go pound for pound in the ring. That Alabama slam was freaking perfect. I was like, damn. I was like, she's tough, man. And she talks tough, which follows suits with her toughness in the ring, So I can't wait to see what comes for the future for her. I hope that she doesn't get thrown into some weird ass tag team, and that's the last we hear of her. I hope that she kind of gets a nice long-term push, because you know what? At the end of the day, they need to start building a lot more women up. The Beckys, the Charlottes, even the Baileys after maybe this run. Like they'll kind of start pushing their way out, and then you need these stars to kind of come up and be made instead of just like pairing them up with someone else. Like it happens a lot of the time.
It does, though. I'm very in on Pulowski's booking from a few weeks ago of Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. Don't hate that at all. Tim saying Kate needs to salvage the night with the Tiffany voice. I should have done this entire Tiffany segment in my Tiffany Stratton voice. I had such a good debut. I had so much fun with Meechin. I was talking so much shit in the ring, and I got the W. Toodles! There you go. There you go.
Oh, that's great.
Gorilla Press stopping by to say hello, and also the Roman's scared chants were everything. Now, lost in all this, I thought Roman did a really good job with this segment. It's just tough because nobody wants to talk about that. But I thought Roman calling the other belt the loser's bracket belt was really, really fun. He was very dismissive of Cody, which isn't good for Cody because Cody didn't rebut it at all. But I thought this was a really fun segment from the Roman side of things. Roman didn't need to have the fun segment from the Roman side of things. That's crazy, but he killed it tonight. I thought he did a good job.
He did.
It's also the first time you've actually had Cody acknowledge the fact that Roman cheated to beat him. Remember the first time he came out to talk to Roman after he lost? He was like, "You were the better man." No, he wasn't. He cheated. You don't have to be like above it all guy. You can say you cheated to his face. They gave him a dang year to tell him that.
He basically tonight said, I never had a fair shot, and because of that, I'm gonna not fight you again. Which is so very weird. Brandon saying, I've been working on a book, but I'm not gonna finish it. Cody isn't finishing his story. Why should I? Well, because sir, you have control over your story. Go finish it. Ian Riccaboni thinks it's being written by Tolkien, which is, I think it's being written by, who was the poet who wrote the Iliad?
Homer.
Hell's name? Homer, yeah. Iliad and the Odyssey.
No!
I don't watch The Simpsons. Tim saying WWE.
You knew that reference, though.
I knew
that reference.
I knew. There's some I know. I know the goggles. They don't do anything. I've learned a few. They might have lost support from some fans, but the Rock sells shows across the spectrum. Cody isn't mainstream. I'm going to do my best Sean Ross Sapp impression right now. Ready?
Here we go.
It's sold out! There you go.
Yeah, so The Rock is going to move an extra from what I just read here. Hold on. Let me do my calculations here. Carry the 2 plus 3. An extra 37 tickets. The Rock is going to move an extra. And by the way, this is not, and I'm glad you brought this up because this is not mainstream. This is on Peacock. This is on a streaming network. If this was mainstream, it'd be on a broadcast channel like Fox, NBC, ABC, or whatever. Okay, that's mainstream. This is not mainstream. This is just streaming. People are talking about, oh, this is going to be covered everywhere, and magazines are going to cover it, and blah blah blah. Just because it's The Rock, you didn't need it. You didn't need it.
I understand the point of that, chat. Let me not let my incredible Sean Ross Sapp impression take over the fact that you make a point with the chat, which is that The Rock is the big star in the world. And I understand that, but attendance has not been a problem for WWE of late. Coverage around WrestleMania is not a problem. This is just betraying a year of programming for no reason. Shabugan saying WWE.
Earn it. Make me earn it.
So I'll say this: the delightful Kylie, formerly of Tag Talk on Fightful Overbooked today, have been doing these very sarcastic voice memos to each other about whatever the discourse is that day. And she sent me one, which was that, I don't think Cody's had enough adversity yet. And we were laughing about it because we thought it was silly. And now it seems that we have manifested such a thing. WWE screwed Cody so hard it made me think he was a black WWE champion. Well, Brock's not going to be around for a little bit. So Meet Norma saying that Hana he made Normas. Hello, you three scrummy, scrumptious, delicious meat nuggets. May Gabagool be with you during these wild times and also with your spirit.
Gabagool.
Couple more chats to get through. Someone said that Drew tweeted. Somebody look up Drew's tweet. We need to know what it is.
I'm going in there right now.
Brian Powell, any chance we get Rock Roman night 1, Roman Cody night 2, especially if they don't have Seth? Risky game to play, my friend. Risky game to play. Cody brought my interest back for WWE. My wife and I bought Mania tickets when he won the Rumble. Now I just want to sell them and be done. We're hearing a lot of that, Morgan. You're not alone in that. Nico saying at this... Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
No, go ahead. Sorry. There was a blip on my end. I thought you stopped. Go ahead, continue.
Oh, all good. At this rate, Cody will be the first ever to win 3 straight Rumbles. Will come out the next night and challenge Gunther for the IC title.
Yes.
Not mad.
So he posted the little GIF of Cody with the ear.
Shabugan saying Drew tweeted the Cody listening GIF and also Luis covering it, which means not only do we have you covered on the show with Alex, we've got you covered in the chat with Luis, and we've got people super chatting. That is how much coverage you get over here at Fightful.
So much coverage.
Guys, send in your super chats. We are hopefully coming down the home stretch of these sooner rather than later. Miguel Ortiz saying Cody face Roman at the next MSG show. Everything feels compensatory. It's like Cody pinning Roman clean at Mania or something less than. It's so lame. We already got Boris Johnson, who had chimed in about your Turtle Power hat. Corey David, Cody versus Roman at Elimination Chamber. Cody versus Seth for 1 title. Nope. Combining the titles again and making one show feel less important, not great, especially when you have monster deals for rights being done right now. Do you think Cody takes the title at Chamber from Roman? We've answered that a couple of times. I do not. I think they should.
Yeah.
Taylor Cannon saying, I know The Rock versus Roman is a huge match, but why can't we have that at Chamber for the people in Australia? They don't want The Rock to be on at like 4 a.m. Eastern, I don't think. But they could. They can do whatever the hell they want. Andrew Brown, Cody Rhodes is such a geek. We already read that one, but Cody does look like a geek. You are correct. We've gotten through a couple of these. Luis has just had an impossible job tonight, so bear with me as I work through some of this. How much of The Rock versus Roman is trying to deflect and change the media focus of the fans? A lot. Also, did you like the Here Comes the Final match line at 10 after 8 for a short women's match?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, tonight was going to be what it was about. Like, I almost, if you're going to do stuff like that, I almost prefer you do that on shows like this because the story is going to be about The Rock anyway.
Sure.
Like, if you try to advance other creative, it's going to get lost in the shuffle. That's already happened with the Bayley stuff, and that was great.
Yeah.
Jordan Scott saying Rock and Roman is a draw, but not like this. I honestly don't see Cody versus Seth being bigger than Rhea versus Becky for a main event, especially after Roman basically said it's a title for the number 2. The story is over. It was thrown in the water with a rock and it's tied to it. Cody not rebutting the fact that Roman called it a lesser title looked really bad tonight, and Cody setting up the Rock and Roman instead of making his choice were really bad calls tonight. I said it earlier in the show, but that was like 6 hours ago. So I'll say it again. I think this is a symptom of last year's bad booking. It's a bad move to do the match, and it was a bad segment. I think it was a massive failure on 3 levels tonight.
Yeah.
And that's rough. One, you can't do anything about. You can't do anything about the past year. Very much could have done something about the match that you set up and the way you set it up. Cody versus Seth isn't even bigger than Bayley versus Io, Luis says. That I really genuinely very much do agree with.
Can I also add that the YouTube videos are getting destroyed with thumbs down for WWE?
Sean said when he came in here that it was 60% thumbs down, which is
it's over 20,000 thumbs down. So it's creeping over that 63% mark right now.
Lupongi Vice with one of the best names I've ever heard. I'm a Rocky Romero stan, so I'm here for that. I don't know how to feel. Could it be possible we get a weird finish during Cody Roman and then a triple threat at Mania? Now, I was worried about the triple threat from the beginning because I don't like that idea, but it saves The Rock looking terrible in the ring. It protects Roman in the loss, and Cody gets to win the title. So if they get back there, I still don't like it because it should be a one-on-one match, but it would at least be fundamentally sound wrestling programming, at least better than this. Pulaski, do you have any thoughts on that? We talked about it earlier in the show, but you weren't here.
No, I feel like you could have easily done that tonight, though. Like,
sure,
had Cody about to choose Roman and have The Rock come out. And then they want a Rock to be cheered though. So like he can't come out and be like, listen up, jabroni, you don't have what it takes or whatever,
Try
this side of the arena says one thing and this side of the arena says something else. It's going to be mildly problematic, but we're going to get through it. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. They want Rock to be cheered. So it's a tough one.
That's gonna be mildly problematic, but we'll get through it. I've been doing this for 2 hours and 46 minutes. I needed that. That was very funny.
Good.
That's crazy. We've been on here though. This was a regular Friday night SmackDown. When I told you what I told you earlier, and I was just like, buddy. I couldn't believe. Yeah.
Insane. Absolute insanity. Johnny Big Man saying, always a great day for AEW to exist. This is ass for real. Yeah, comparatively or not comparatively, I feel like AEW is back on track, which is great, independent of this. And yeah, they won this week for sure. Red Devil Gamer saying, can't wait to watch, hear Philly shit on this crap. So that's the other thing. Philly crowds are unforgiving.
Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm. They booed Santa Claus.
They booed
That
Santa
should tell you
Claus.
enough.
BB says, didn't Australia push for The Rock to be at Elimination Chamber? I think everybody's going to push for The Rock to be wherever they can go, especially with a mega show like this. But there were rumors about Elimination Chamber, Saudi Arabia, Mania. Like, there's been people making whispers about where this match is actually going to happen for a while. Wheelchair Hulk says, so they're going to do an 8-week build for the top title in the company where neither wrestler shows up to work. I think we got that one before, but yes. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. You are now champion-less again on both brands, and now both guys in the main event on one side don't go to work. Nathan Davis says, I'm done with Rocky. At least Batista won his shot. Yeah, I get that. Cody versus Roman SummerSlam 2024. If they really want to stretch it again, I can't buy into the idea that it's not happening at Mania.
Close to Roman passing Hulk, they're not having Roman.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're not doing it. Survivor Series at MSG would be the next best, I guess. Shibugan, Cody, I am more CM Punk than you. Punk, I agree. They are both the same guy tonight. Another one about, is Roman a distraction from real life news? Yes and no. Yes and no. I think this was always a possibility, but might have gotten escalated. Do you think Triple H told Cody, I'll owe you one? I don't know if you guys have watched the True Detective on HBO, but I imagine Punk sitting in his hospital bed watching Raw saying, time is a flat circle. Now I'll tell you what. In the controversial interview that got everybody sued, CM Punk said, Vince said, I'll owe you one like 3, 4, 5 times, and he got sick of being owed. And that was kind of what led to the split upon also physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion and not being granted time off. I would say the contract extension is the big we'll owe you one. I would say them trying to get him on board said, we're not doing it this year, but we want you to stick around. That's all speculation. Jonathan Corona says, off topic. We talked about that already too. They're totally going to have Cody finish the story at the next Sands of Time. This is the worst, dumbest thing ever. FML. Bro, I don't know. Mike the Jeweler, who sponsored our Fightful Awards, which we so appreciate. You can follow him on Instagram at, I believe, Mike the Jeweler _ATL. If you'd be so kind to do so. We appreciate our sponsors from that show. Saying, which story are we finishing now? This is ridiculous. Just taking a random turnaround, and The Rock coming back stole Chunky Monkey's stop yet again. The Rock will always finish his story when Chunky Monkey, CM, wanted to. Also, F Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Well, I stand by all of that, especially the last sentence. Easy Breezy saying, Rock using his TKO powers to make Hunter play his ass on the Mania card. I would say that was probably very collaborative.
Started with his daughter, making her the NXT general manager.
My God. Mike the Jeweler also saying, cheering for The Rock, but Homeboy gets blown up in 2 moves. We talked about this earlier, but again, that was 3 hours ago. The in-ring concerns me. The in-ring concerns me a lot of what that match is going to be. This is not Danielson Okada where it's like everybody's just so excited it's happening, and then the in-ring, someone gets injured. This is like he's going to get gassed out in 2 minutes kind of thing, which makes me feel
Which is why I thought the triple threat was a good idea, because
it's a good
if
out.
he's going to be part of it, then he can rest on the outside. Solo Sikoa can give him a Samoan spike because it's no DQ. It's a triple threat match. Bury him under the announce table. Eventually, he gets back in, runs in, hits a rock bottom, but then takes a crossroads and gets pinned. Done.
I mean, he could have done the whole ring enforcer, like, back in the day when we had Ken Shamrock do it, like.
Yeah, someone had said him just staving off the rest of the bloodline while Cody and Roman fight a fair fight.
Yeah.
That feels like the perfect out. Invader Sonic says, you asked how does Cody get a shot at SummerSlam, Money in the Bank, and I say how did Rocket? We read that one too. Louise got inundated today, so there's a couple of repeats in here. Yeah, we got through this one too. We got through a lot of these. Thank you for the support, guys. We really appreciate it. Hey, the Final Testament and the Street Hurt Profit Business didn't fight today. That was supposed to be a match that didn't happen. You guys have any thoughts on that?
I've decided to call them Bobby's Boys and the Carrion Cult. And yes, cult is spelled with a K. And this is the longest feud that still hasn't started yet. Can we please have a match? We've had at least 2 matches that never actually got started. Can we please have a match? I want to see AOP wrestle. Like with the ding ding, the ding ding is paramount. With a ding ding to start and the ding ding to end, front to back, an AOP match, please.
How dare you use the ding ding?
Alex said that one time, and we decided it was an iconic phrase. Like the ding ding is paramount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Part-Time Mania is gonna hump a bag of dicks. Rock to Cody. Black Adam is better than Homelander. Don't cry. I'm going to lose to Roman too. Black Adam needs this. Thank you. I hate this shit. And I'm Samoan.
Oh my gosh. That's
Thank
great.
you, Audio Flash. Tim
For
McFall
saving
says this isn't even good PR before the lawsuit broke. Rock was putting over Vince in the press. Cody showed he's your best PR weapon at the Royal Rumble presser. That guy, almost to a comedic standpoint, is like the perfect company guy.
Yeah.
I don't buy that. I get the story of The Rock coming back is maybe bigger press than Cody. Cody is the perfect guy to be doing media for your company. We got this one. Mike the Jeweler also saying, hey, since we can cuss, what the flying fuck is this bullshit for the SmackDown finish? Who knows which story will finish? This is such a letdown. I blame that 3-match guy, Junkie Monkey Philly. Hope y'all have a great evening. Look, I've not been a fan of this CM Punk return at all, but I can't blame this bad booking on him. Shibuka says The Rock has it in his movie contract how many times that he can get hit and how tough he has to look. Do we really think he's going to job? If he's part owner of the company, he might.
Correct. Yes, right. It's a totally different beast now.
Yeah. The YouTube dislikes on the post of The Rock. There's a lot of people that are hating on this. I wonder if they have to call an audible back the other way. Maybe they end up doing the triple threat anyway.
They won't do it. I think their feet are in the sand now.
It's a very weird thing to tease and renege.
Right. Yeah.
Nico says by this rate, next year Cody will be the first ever to. Oh, we run that one already. And Jordan saying Rock versus Roman night 2 means night 1 is just the entrances. I should have saved that for the last one. That's phenomenal. Whoops.
It's been that kind of day, folks. We're losing plugs and headphones and
my mind.
My Bluetooth headphones ran out of batteries. That's how I had to switch into my little ones that plug into my laptop.
That's how long we've been on. We were here so long that Alex's headphones batteries.
I wasn't even here for the whole time.
Coming down the home stretch, though, James saying, just wondering if anyone finds the irony in The Rock doing to Cody what he did to Punk years ago after the pre-Rumble promo with Punk and Cody. Yeah, except that promo was one of my favorite promos I've ever seen in my entire life, and this all sucked because this buried Cody. There is like a Jerichoism that if you beat nobody, you beat nobody, right? Like if you bury your opponent and then you beat them, who cares? You made them look weak from the beginning. But if you beat somebody that you built up, and I know Alex Pulaski is now laughing at the irony of this, then you beat someone and it matters. So I think that tonight they went out of their way to make Cody look like a chump. Ian Riccaboni says, simply put, this is why I don't read. Well, fair enough. Yeah. Norma says, toodles, partners, and we're going to say toodles too. We are finally at the end of our super chats and our humper chats. It looks like. Wow. Thank you so much for the support. We are closing in on 3 hours. We're going to cut it off here. Luis, you get to triple your invoice pay. Alex Cardoza, you get to do about the same, I think, with this. But Pulaski, thank you for jumping in. It actually really helped to have a fresh arm coming in from the bullpen on this. Mm-hmm. We're going to let y'all plug your stuff. I'm going to start with Pulaski because he's my Vengeance Day buddy for this weekend. Yeah. We'll start with you, and then we'll toss it over to Cardoza, who filled in for me while I was out, which I appreciated.
We did a Rampage watch along, and I very calmly dissected what happened in the main event segment of SmackDown while watching Rampage stuff. That was fun. Could overdo that if I was elect. We also, of course, review Raw. That'll be fun on Monday. We'll review Raw. We're doing Vengeance Day, like you said, on Sunday, right here on this YouTube channel to review NXT. We'll see which of the guys who is being imminently called up is going to win the Dusty Classic and have things to do in NXT before they go to the main roster. And then, of course, the Dynamite thing as well. Some point during the next week, Kate and I are going to review on Select No Holds Barred. We're starting up with our This Is Cinema Question mark. Reviews of movies starring wrestlers. So that's going to be sometime during the next week. That'll be fun. Also, I wrote a song.
Very nice.
I wrote a song. Here we go. Cody Rhodes, know your role. Here's a place you don't belong. WrestleMania, fighting Roman. Know your role. Cody Rhodes. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
I
Your voice
shed
is
a
a mix
tear.
between Fergie and Jesus, or whatever John C. Reilly says.
Wow. I love Jesus.
Cardosa. 3 hours, my friend. I feel like
This is the longest I've ever lasted.
Hey,
anyway.
must have been a blue chew.
Look at Alex. I knew I was going to pop him.
BlueChew.com code Fightful.
You guys can follow me on Instagram, Alexis Cardoza altogether. Go over there and follow me. I want to get those numbers up so that I can brag about how awesome I am. And then also future Grammy winner Alex. Yes. Right. On Threads it's the same thing, and on the X is _ Alexis Cardoza. As for me, I'm working on a couple new programs here for the next couple of weeks. I'm starting up a new project. I can't wait to bring everyone up to speed with that. I'm always busy doing a lot of things, so I think this one's going to be a home run because baseball season is almost starting.
Well, we'll find out what inning you're in with those. Stay tuned to Alex Cardoza. Hey, I was Luis, of all the people that sent in money today, you are the last one that needed to. You worked so hard today, but I was on the True Heel Heat's preview show for Vengeance Day. So head over to the True Heel Heat podcast. Follow SB3. He's wonderful. We talked all things Vengeance Day and NXT, which of course was what it was. If I didn't like SP3 so much, I probably wouldn't go out of my way to talk about NXT more than I do. But I love that guy, so we had some fun chopping it up over there. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Miss Kate Fabe on YouTube. That's also my Twitter and TikTok handles. Katestagram's on Instagram, and I'm all over this wonderful channel and blessed to be so. Thursday nights, I get to do the ROH review. Fridays here for SmackDown. Wednesdays at the Mark Order podcast. Tuesdays with this fella. Reviewing SmackDown on our Variety Hour show. At Fightful Select on Mondays doing the Select Raw review. Alex and I are normally behind the paywall doing alternative post shows to what is on the main. We have a ton of fun back there. We do wild, wacky, fun stuff. But for NXT, we are on the main channel as we will be for Vengeance Day. Stay tuned for Grapsody and also the AEW Collision post show. We've got you covered all weekend. Have a wonderful wrestling weekend. Thank you for sticking with us for such a long show. MT Cyclo saying, I remember when 3 hours was normals for Tuesdays. I know.
Hey, shout out to Maggie at Coexisting for showing her clavicle today.
Oh, she was showing the clav. We love that.
She shows clav, man.
Love that for her. Well, we are at the 3 hour mark, and we are going to say have a safe and wonderful wrestling weekend. Happy Black History Month as well. Wrestling is for everyone. Fightful is for everyone. We appreciate you so much sticking around. Stay tuned to Fightful Select for more on the Vince McMahon story. And of course, that's on the free tier. But also, what the hell is going on with the Cody Rhodes story? We got the story at Fightful Select. Something will be up there. So head over there and subscribe. Thank you so much and have a wonderful weekend.